effectively speaking. Now it's time to figure out if Joe...
You know, Cleo, the thing is we should be on the air because what do they call it? The Wi-Fi. A lot of people are using Wi-Fi and 4 to 5Gs, you know. So we're kind of, even if we're not broadcasting, you know, we're still transmitting, and we are over the air for a lot of people. So I mean, that has a value.
I mean, like, if we're being pedantic about this, I am.
When are we pedantic about anything else? Constantly is the answer to that.
If I'm being pedantic about this, they are hearing us, so we are in sound waves. So technically, with I do like the oh hi Cleo. Hi.
Hi, Cleo. Yeah. Oh, I've been playing with these letters. We'll talk about that a little bit.
Oh god.
Well, because remember I spent like 2 hours carving numbers and letters last
I'm aware.
Yes,
I'm aware.
So we could talk about how I've been using those to like you see the number, like this would be like my new episode on the thumbnail, the little counter here.
The number 42.
Yeah, well, I mean, so I basically did every number.
How many of these have we done so far?
These hermits help, or no, sorry, these crafty hermits.
Crafty things, like
probably 15, maybe. No,
15.
That's too high. 10.
10, yeah.
Hold on. If we do we do 3 to 4 a month, and I feel like it's been 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, we've done quite a few.
15. To
Anybody
16...
who's keeping count, let us know.
Wait, you know, I think we did 8 or 9 while I was just working on the castle.
Yeah, that's true.
And I feel like we've done 8 or 9 since. So.
Sorry.
Yeah, I've just started putting the dates in my title rather than like, because these aren't really episodic per se.
No. I mean, yeah, no. Kitty, hello. I'm using knives today. You're not allowed up.
Oh no, no kitty.
I see
knives.
what you're doing. You're doing letters and numbers and stuff.
Well, that's what I was doing last week. I just wanted to kind of show
what you were doing.
Yeah, well, so I figured out if I mount
3 or 4 months or 3 or 4 years. Yes.
Yeah, if I mount my phone where the GoPro is right now, I can use my watch as a what do you call that thing on a camera? A shutter button.
Mm-hmm.
So my watch has like a remote shutter button app thing, so I can put the letters like on. So I wrote the word hermitcraft on like a brown piece of construction paper with the green letters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I can move the letters around and use the shutter button every time I moved them, and not have to touch the camera at all.
Oh, so you're doing stop motion.
Yeah, so nice. I was doing kind of like I just did an experiment. I don't know if it's the version I have isn't probably going to make it into the first episode of season next or whatever we end up calling it, but basically, yeah, it's like, you know, I could just spell like HERMITCRAFT. Yay, look at me, I can spell.
Yay.
Yeah, I could spell that with the different letters, because like I'd have slightly different sizes of the letters and swap them out. And what I was thinking is, like, just to add a little bit of production zazz, that's American for pizzazz. I could have that kind of come in from the top, rather than doing like one of those fully animated like intros before the episode starts, like a production company. Just have it come down from the top. It just says, you know, Hermitcraft at the top while I'm doing the howdy y'all, Joe Hill's here type thing.
Yeah, that works. That's a thing that we could do.
Yeah,
or you could do at least.
Yeah, and I almost thought, like, what if I did that for every episode, like, you know, for like the chapter titles or for things like that. And then I'm like, oh no, there's no way I'm gonna want to bust out the stop motion.
No.
8 times an episode.
You need a couple of generic ones. So one that says time skip, for example.
Oh my gosh, that's actually a great idea.
And you can animate a couple of those. So you can have like swirly ones and like just drop it in and then just coming in from the side. So you could do a few.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm putting together a construction paper brainstorm list. Okay. So having
Joe's planning. I'm not planning.
Having a time skip one is actually brilliant. So intro, maybe a outro poetry transition, poetry / thank you.
Right, so whilst Joe is thinking...
Oh, maybe, because... you know how, like, Isuma has things that pop up with, like, his social media stuff.
Yeah, something like that. That
I
would
could
good.
pop up stuff that like links to social media, but maybe I only do that for other people. Like if Jevin shows up in this, like I have something pop up. This is twitter.com/iJevin.
Yeah, that would be nice. I mean, that's pleasant.
Oh, people are telling me the
I
wrong year is in the title. Okay, we don't write checks anymore. This is the new thing we're gonna get wrong.
It is 2022.
Is it? Oh my gosh.
It is. It is for our sins. It is 2022.
Okay.
This is the year where we become grown-ups, Joe.
Cleo, I have been a grown up for like no, I think like I know that you guys don't have crippling debt over there and health insurance, but like
We don't have health insurance. We do have crippling debt.
I have not
Just
gotten to live
don't
like a
stop.
child. Like basically as soon as so I graduated from college and I was
Really?
managing debilitating digestive health issues, debt, and didn't have the child yet. But then like the debilitating health issues and the debt just carried right on through to the child. So like I don't feel like I'm pretending to grown up the way that it's trendy to say. Like I feel like I'm doing it.
Fair enough.
I don't know.
I just got told by Joe. That's fine. I understand, Joe. I will shut up. That's fine.
You don't have to shut up. You could just be wrong more about something else.
I'm wrong about plenty of stuff, Joe. It's fine. I don't need constant reminders. I got a new knife blade, by the way. People were concerned. They weren't concerned. They were concerned that I was going to put in a new knife blade. So I did it off camera so people didn't have a heart attack.
Nice.
So I'm doing my koala. So
Ooh.
yeah, so my fancy koala bear.
That does indeed sound fancy. So, I had a few things that
To talk about.
well, so the first thing though, before we do anything else, what I actually wanted to do art-wise this stream was to do a little bit of sketching of ideas I had for the next season of Hermitcraft.
Okay.
And I wanted to talk to you specifically
You have
about
ideas?
the respawn chunks, like resupply thing. 'Cause
Shashka.
I had some ideas about that.
Oh, okay. So like stuff that we actually agreed to do together, right? Okay, that's fine.
Because I was thinking I might draw some sketches and like see if we're like roughly on the same page. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So okay, let me turn to a new page here. Okay, so like basically what I was thinking is that instead of calling it like instead of it just being a generic resupply thing, like in season 7 I did that chest with the boats and that was actually super helpful. Season 8 we did the full egg with pearl, but there were some flaws with that. Like for one thing,
Okay, explain the flaws to me, Joe.
okay, so S7 egg flaws. For one thing, it was smaller than like the respawn area, so you could respawn outside of it in the dark, right?
Okay, yes.
You could be on the back of it, and then have to walk around and maybe get creepers or something, right?
Yeah, that sounds like something I would do. Yeah, yeah.
There's no actual door or anything.
Oh yeah, there's no door that actually gets closed or anything. So yeah, that's bad. Hello, chat.
Oh,
I
people
don't
are
think
saying-
we've actually spoken to you really much at all.
Yeah, so hi, Winnie T. Ford, Rotation, Alpin Glow Up, Akuinu, DJ Frogtime, Tombstone 22, Alexis 87, Berlin, Emerald Lapin, Waj, Sheer, Tony, Arrow Awesome, Tafo Man, Mutant Fishy, Peridot, Oh My, Mr. Pretty Panda, Arrow Awesome, Faith, Diego, Eden Near, Arena Snow, Ria Hafa, Solanum, Codoes Stuff, Arker, Hypothermic Haddock. Welcome. Also, people are saying
Thank you.
I wrote the wrong season.
Thank you. A very confused bird. For the resub for 2 months. 2 months. I love catching these streams. Always a highlight to draw whilst I listen along. Well, thank you very much. It's always a highlight to have you here. And if you're doing crafts along, well done. I don't. Yay crafts.
Yay,
That's all I've got to say about that.
You know, I'm realizing I don't know where I put down my colored pencils. Oh, now I do. Okay, great. So, It had no actual door, and it was smaller than the respawn area. I think were the most glaring issues. Did you notice any issues as well?
Not particularly. I mean, I didn't go to the respawn area an awful lot. I did it once.
Uh-huh.
And I think we need better food in there.
Well, I mean, okay. We'll put better, not great food. The thing about the food is it was what we could harvest kind of in the surrounding village. So
really what I'm saying is I want to make sure that we've got like proper farms of like animals and stuff.
Uh-huh. Well,
in the respawn area.
So here's what I was thinking with that. Actually.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll say so season next ideas. Okay. So I was thinking we need to have the like I'm kind of imagining it as some sort of maybe either however the structure is, there needs to be like a plaza or a lobby, like a main area that is the size of the respawn. So no matter where you respawn, you're in the same room, right? We don't want to have it smaller than that. So
thank you, Megs, for the 10 sub resub. 10-month resub.
Just out of curiosity, does anyone know, is there a respawn chunk, or do you spawn within a radius of the spawn point? How does that
That's
work?
a good question. That's a good question for all you miners and crafters out there.
Yeah, miners
and thank you, Red, for giving out a community gift sub. And we've got a hype train. Choo choo! Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yay, hype train.
Yay, hype train.
So respawn area that looks like a big teleporter room. No, that's not really our style, and it is going to be very early on. This is like our first episode. I'm not going to say project, but it's one of the things we want to do in the first episode.
Well, I will say one of the flaws with Season 8 Egg is it was not extensible. Okay.
No.
So hear me out on this. So we have, what I'm imagining is we have the plaza or lobby. We have like the main chamber or main area where you actually respawn. And then off of that, on 2 or 3 sides, maybe not all 4 because we might have a road or path coming out the front, right? But on several sides, we have what start off as like maybe farms, not maybe like a fancy cow farm or chicken farm or whatever, but like...
Right, pause for a second. We got an answer to a question. 21 by 21 blocks.
Okay, so it's not necessarily linked to a chunk.
No, it's not. Thank you, Arena, for the 103 very specific bits there. Thank you very, very much. Oh, don't choke. Don't choke, if you can avoid it.
Tony says, Joe, you should talk to Pearl about this, as she might already have plans for it. Well, I asked all the other hermits, and nobody had any interest in working on this except Cleo. So, I don't...
You see how that works?
I don't think Pearl wanted to work on... So the thing is, a lot of times people don't want to do the same thing multiple seasons in a row. But or at least especially new people, they want to do wildly different things. But like, I went back and I watched all of I went back and reviewed the first 10 episodes of every season. I didn't watch them fully, but like kind of skimmed and looked at them and stuff. And it's I
mean, you do this an awful lot.
Yeah, I mean, oh, go on.
You're the respawn guy at this point.
Well, and even in the early seasons, when we had, like, Starter Village and stuff, like, I was usually helping with lighting and setting up stuff around these areas and things.
You were.
And so, like, it's one of those things, like, if nobody does it, or in the cases where things were, like, we let them slide, it ends up being a nightmare later. Like, and not later, like, in 5 days, but, like, it screws up people's initial recording time. Like, you have to do this. So yeah, it's basic server infrastructure for a recording SMP is kind of what I would consider.
Pretty much, yeah.
So
people dying is not. It's funny for the first few times, but after a while they get frustrated.
Well, the thing is,
and it affects video quality.
Yeah, and like dying is fine as long as they get back in the action. Right.
Yeah.
So, what I was imagining... So, what I want is I want this thing, unlike the egg, to be extensible. right? With the idea being that we initially establish, like, we establish a big footprint early.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we initially might have on that footprint, as you said, animals or crops or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then we replace them with like an HHH like supply depot where we just have 20 chests full of dirt.
Yeah.
20 chests full of cobble. All of the basic stuff that people will have too much of early. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're not worried about that on day one. Day one, because there's no server food farms anywhere else, we literally like plant wheat and potatoes and carrots and stuff. And
yeah, we
that could
plant
also
those, and then we go out and get cows and chickens and stuff.
Yeah, and so like episode 1 could be basically gathering crops to create an initial farm and create a seed bank and get the animals started, right? And so actually having one of the ideas when I
am going to do some other stuff in my episode 1, but yes, that's
yeah, no, I'm just trying to figure out like what do we need to do, like when to get this. We kind of know what the minimum viable product is for this, right?
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be lit and defended.
Jesus Christ! Thank you, Canuck, for the 10 community gift subs. That's very much appreciated. My heart, I'd forgotten that yeah, no, that's fine. It's fine. Will we try and drown X again? I don't think I drowned X.
I don't think I drowned X.
I mean, that's something that we do on our off time rather than,
Yeah, that's
during
just,
the first episode.
Recreational.
Yeah, it's recreational drowning.
It's purely recreational. Dang it. Okay. I just realized I left my pencil sharpener in the other room.
Thank you, Macaulay, for the 5 community gift subs. It's very much appreciated, everyone.
I'll wait until I need to get a drink or something anyway. Hey, Seabart rolling in, tipping 50, says Joe Leo stream, #Canuck. Seabart has a Canadian flag in their icon there. So...
Oh, that's probably Canuck 1987 who gave out community gift subs on my end as well.
Ah, fantastic. Well, where's my
There we go.
abacus?
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you for supporting both of us. Okay, here's the abacus. Boom. So 20 gets you 1 face camera expansion, 40 gets you a second. The remaining 10 puts us halfway to the third.
Who needs a heart anyway? Nerds. Nerds don't need hearts.
Okay.
I mean, hearts are only mildly mandatory.
Howdy, y'all. Grow Hills here. I think the camera needs to be adjusted. Expand Joe. Alrighty. And then we are 10 away from the next face camera expansion. Thank you very much, Seabart 1987. Okay.
I like making links over multiple things. That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's really appreciated.
Okay. So, like, whatever it is, the minimum viable product seems like torches, fences, and chests, right?
Yeah.
Like, we could get torches, fences, and chests in the first...
like, 20 minutes.
Yeah. So that's the other thing, is, like...
And beds. If we can get a bed first thing.
Yeah. So, deployable quickly. So, like, what I'm imagining is we figure out, like, even though the goal is by the end of episode 1 to have actual maybe walls or some roofs or things like that, we, as soon as the season launches, like, or at least I, depending on what, if you have something that you were planning on doing like minute 1, minute 2, you go do it.
Oh no, not minute 1, minute 2. I'm quite happy to like get resource. I might murder B-dubs a couple of times again. That was fun.
So if you remember, people die a lot in the first 20 minutes the server's live. That's when it's most important.
I was the cause of most of those.
Yeah, that's why it's important to actually have the thing built, at least in like a minimum form, quickly, right?
Yeah.
So we start with, fences, torches, chests, and like whatever crops are nearby. Once we have it kind of running, or once we have it at that point, then we can go say, okay, let's get obsidian for a portal. Let's go find sheep for a bed. Let's fill out the seed bank.
Yeah. Where did I get the cute cutout things? I got them from the range, if you know where that is, if you're in the UK. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Trying to answer questions from chat and listen to you at the same time is my job.
Oh, yeah, people are starting questions with, I know this is off topic, but, well, yeah, I'm not going to answer that. Because we're talking about, we already have a topic. Off topic questions are great for when Cleo and I are out of things to say, but this is 20 minutes into the stream. We are not done yet.
We're never going to be at 20 minutes. We can go on for 2 hours before we're out of things to say. Widget has resubscribed for 10 months. Thank you very much indeed. It's good to have you here, guys.
Mm-hmm. Why is this? I feel like when I'm touching this table that shouldn't be... Oh, this table is on the same chair mat as the microphone stand. I was like, for some reason it feels like bass is being conducted down through this side table. There we go.
If it helps, I couldn't hear it.
Well,
the only time I could hear is when I heard you knocking your mic.
Well, Discord... So. Well, that's the thing, is I wasn't knocking my mic.
Dun, dun, dun.
No, that's my thing, is I was like, why does it sound like I'm knocking my mic when I'm putting something on this side table here?
Ah,
that's
poor planning.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
mystery solved. Okay, so
okay.
People are saying, why is Cleo's voice weird? She's British? I don't know what you want.
I don't know what you want from me. Is my voice weird in my stream chat? Because it might be it's just Joe.
It doesn't sound weird.
Oh gosh.
To my headphones.
Canet gave out another 5 community gift subs. Thank you very much for the hype train. Thank you. It's fine on my end. So
Aku Inu says probably Discord mic thing. Well, but if it's Discord, it would sound weird in my headphones too. People.
Yeah.
Okay. I can turn Cleo down a bit if she's too loud.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing that lots of people have to do.
Yeah. I don't know.
I can fairly confidently say this is not a me problem at this point.
Okay. Cleo sounds compressed. Well, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm pressed, but maybe not compressed.
Yeah.
Lies and deceit.
Okay. Well, let's see.
Right. So
I guess, like, if we can agree
mm-hmm.
on a rough kind of footprint or shape or something, like.
Well, I find a cross usually works better, so we can have the initial 21 by 21 things encapsulated, and then have like farms on either end.
Yeah.
So
here's the thing: is we could do a 21 by 21 square in the middle.
Yeah. Thank you, Arca, for the 10 gift subs and giving me a heart attack. It's very much appreciated. Haven't cut myself yet.
But like, you know, here's another option or opportunity, is, you know, we're supposed to be, because like that was my initial thought too, was to have it be a T rather than a cross though, so that way the plaza opens straight up into a street, right? Mm-hmm. So we have like a thoroughfare. I'm assuming that somebody's gonna do roads, although every time I ask, hey, who wants to organize roads, everyone's like, I don't want to do it, and I won't follow yours if you do it. And I'm like, well, and then you're gonna be complaining that there are
no roads.
Yeah, it's like, how come there's no line of sight on any of the builds in the shopping district?
I tried.
Yeah, this is on you guys every single time. Like, I was so frustrated.
To be honest, I never complain about the lack of roads.
I gave up on the shopping district in Season 7 because I was like, I'm gonna try and do this roads thing on my own and see, like, maybe they will follow my lead. Nope. Fine. Okay.
Thank you, Ophelia, for the biddies. It's very much appreciated.
Okay. So, Geld Madoc says, have you considered running a season where you have to always have a respawn point centralized? I don't know what you mean. Like, the respawn point is where where the world spawn is. It's...
I think they saying like that everybody has to have the same respawn point, which is ridiculous.
Oh, like if we turned off
work
beds?
On projects tens of thousands of blocks out.
Yeah, that wouldn't work.
That would not work. that would be a complete waste of our time. And recording time is valuable. When you have recording time, you need to be recording. So, no.
Okay. So, anyway, I was
seems like the person that always carried the group project and got pretty much, yeah. Yeah. I think that's fairly safe to say.
Well, and it's funny because I actually don't care. I think I think school is stupid. I don't want to do this. I'm embarrassed to turn in nothing though. So the thing is, I would often put in a lot of work on intentionally the wrong thing. You let me carry your group project, and we are turning in something interesting.
Let's put it like this. I was always the person that carried the group. So much so that at one point I just said, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And I got in trouble with the teacher for not carrying the group because they expected better from me. I was livid. I was actually livid.
I really every time the more I think about school, like the more I just hate everything about our educational system too. Like I'm mad about everything today, Cleo.
It's gotten better since the 80s in the 90s. The 90s and 80s were better than what went before. It's improving drastically all the time. But
yeah. Okay.
Those teachers have retired or are dead now, so fingers crossed. It's the dead.
Can we? Oh my gosh, this is way off topic, and it's gonna stop me from getting to the actual art. But I want to introduce a topic for us to return to later after we've started doing. Well, you're doing art already. I want to get the brainstorming to the point where I can start drawing ideas. So once we start drawing ideas, I want to talk about. There's an author who was talking about their wins for this year. Like, okay, this year really sucked. But there were a few things I feel like were positive. And one of the things they listed was their 15-year-old dropping out of high school as it was clearly the right decision for them. And I'm like, I can't imagine being so wealthy that I'm like, you know, I feel like high school was really bumming my kid out. I'm glad they don't have to go back. And they're going to be set for life anyway because I'm an internationally best-selling author. But like, oh my gosh, most people dropping out of high school is really bad. And I know this because I tried a whole bunch of times and people kept stopping me and it really bothered me. Like, nobody would let me drop out of high school, but apparently if your dad's an author and you're, you know, who sells books and TV shows and whatever all over the world, you can just drop out at 15. Like, I'm really annoyed by that. But we can talk about that later. Okay.
That's fine.
So, back to the shape concept, though. You know, you were talking about
hold on a second. Thank you, Vold, for the raid of people. It's very much appreciated. We're venting, just so you all know.
we're hyperventing over here.
No, that's just you. You're hyperventilating. There's a difference.
You know, hyperventilation is really good for ensuring fresh air into the building.
If you're new here, this is what we do. We traumatize ourselves for your entertainment.
I'm not being traumatized now. This is actually the opposite.
This is catharsis.
This is cathartic, yeah. Okay. So
based on our trauma.
Yeah. Tony says, isn't 21 by 21 a little bit big for the plaza or the center of this structure? It has to be that size because that's dictated by the world spawn radius.
Yeah, the reason why 21 and 21 could just be a brick.
Oh, here's actually a fun thing, Cleo, is we might not actually know the server's respawn coordinates, so we might have to go bigger than that. Or, we get to do science. You can kill me 100 times and put blocks down where I respawn to figure out where the plaza is. That's actually
what we're doing. That's how we're doing.
Yeah. Okay. Murder science.
Murder science with Joe Hills.
Murder science to establish boundaries.
My boundary is don't murder me. This is fuck.
I mean, this is actually no. This is part of what I want. Even though I'm coming in here with like a bunch of like checklists and stuff, that we use the checklist to figure out what we need, and then how to do it. Okay, so the core concept though is a square with 3 or 4 buildings that are square off it makes sense, but that's also, sometimes some of the newer hermits, no, just Korean, I'm not gonna throw Pearl and Gem under the bus on this, will say, come on guys, we're not making videos from 2012 here, but I really like my videos from 2012. Like, I go back and I watch them, and I had so much more energy, and I was so much happier. But, I feel like maybe recapturing that energy without recapturing the architecture is a valid approach. And so, I feel like looking at that square surrounded by other squares is a very early Minecraft approach. Maybe having that be like either circular or honestly or
a circular courtyard I like,
hexagonal, or a diamond.
Yeah,
like doing something with it, and maybe and like
I need a floor pattern here, Joe, is what we're saying. We need to break out the graph paper and do a 21 by 21 graph paper floor.
I've got the graph paper. That's actually literally why. Okay.
Oh my god.
No, I'm ready for this. This is what I wanted to brainstorm. But yeah,
this is what I dream of, Cleo.
But yeah, the idea though that like.
Thank you for the biddies, Marcelam. It's appreciated.
What if it's not a what if it's not even a geometric shape at all? What if it's like some sort of free-form garden, right? That it's a blob that is larger. It's a blob that the 21 by 21 fits in, and then we have silos with the materials or something. Like, could this be a respawn park with I
like the idea of a respawn barn with like fields and stuff.
Okay. So barn,
something like that would work.
Fields. So having this be something that feels
something architectural, which feels like it's actually doing the job that it's actually doing. It's supposed to be doing.
Well, and so like to some degree, if this is like I don't know about you, but my plan is to not know where my base is, whether or not the hermits know the seed or not. I'm not going to plan where my base is until I explore.
I'm not planning.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I think most of us are in the same boat there. It's just sort of like...
My point is, though, that even if other people change their mind, I'm not going.
You're not.
I'm locking into that. So I've actually been looking at ideas for starter houses. Oh my god, Cleo, you're gonna love this idea. Okay, for the starter house.
Am I gonna love?
So
thank you, Mini Cheese Mouse, for the biddies.
I'm basing my starter house on. Have you seen the pinball machine Elvira's House of Horrors?
I have not, because believe it or not, pinball machines aren't really that common over here.
Do you guys have Elvira?
I know who she is, but that's based on internet.
Okay.
Memeing.
So let me pull up. Oh wait. I took a picture of this in my screenshot folder on Twitter, or for Twitter. So what I'll do is I'm gonna send you a tweet that says, "Hey ZombieCleo, this is what I'm thinking of doing for my starter house next season." That way, people who are not here can also understand it contextually. So I built this in creative mode, based on a pinball machine. That has a haunted house in it. Based on Elvira's House of Horrors. And then I need to go to my screenshot folder, which unfortunately every instance of Minecraft seems to create its own screenshot folder, which is deeply upsetting.
Is this what Planning the Castle was like pre-season 8? Yes, pretty much. It was I had the paper though that time. I did the graph. I did the base outline, I guess, is how we described it.
Yeah. So what I want to do with it is I want to start it off with simple materials and then have the materials get better. I think dead coral would look amazing, but you can't build that in episode 2.
No.
My plan
is this for your base or is this
No, this is for my starter house that's going to be like within walking distance of the respawn. So my plan is if I want to explore to eventually find a place for my base, I'm probably going to die without a bed while exploring a lot. Mm-hmm. So I want to have my starter house close to the resupply egg or respawn area. So I'm going to build my thing, down this theoretical road from there. Does that make sense?
I'm just trying to find it now because Twitter does not want to show me
no. I'm writing the tweet now.
Well,
I'm gonna copy and paste the link into your chat once I've got it.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I can do that. That's
a cool. Screenshot of the stupid alt text soft game Minecraft featuring
make a labyrinth. No, we're not making a labyrinth. We're trying to make things easier for us.
Of Elvira's House of Horrors into Minecraft. Blocks. Okay.
You can tell I'm concentrating. I've got my tongue stuck out whilst I'm doing this.
That I can tell because I can totally see your tongue.
It's where I do a tongue reveal on camera.
Okay. Hey, zombie.
Making a giant holy cheese. No, this is obviously a koala.
I'll start with dirt. Then upgrade the materials as the season progresses. Eventually, the reason I picked this build in particular is because it would look fantastic with the mangrove wood that won't be out until like 6 to 10 months into the season.
Let's make this absolutely clear. I know nothing about what's coming up.
Okay.
I barely know anything about 1.18. So just getting it out there. When you say mangrove wood, I'm going to go, we're getting mangroves?
Yeah.
I know that there are frogs coming. That's about the extent of it.
Yeah, so there's this hyper sickly looking wood that would be perfect for a haunted house that comes from the mangrove trees. So I just posted the link in your chat as well as mine.
Okay.
Somebody suggested we could build a respawn labyrinth.
That's pretty neat. I like that.
Yeah, I feel like that's not as helpful.
Labyrinth idea, and I just went, no.
Yeah, that's not as helpful.
I don't like labyrinths anyway. Just like, it's not that I can't find my way through them. It's just I find them obnoxious. And Minecraft's obsession with labyrinths and mazes, it just does my head in. It's just like, okay, yeah, there's a reason why they don't get built anymore, because they're obnoxious. Mm-hmm. So sorry if you like labyrinths and mazes and stuff. I do apologize, but this is a personal preference and a pet peeve.
Yeah. So the thing I like about this this house architecture is it actually holds up regardless of material. So literally in my second episode, I'm gonna build the thing in dirt, and then I'll upgrade it. I'll upgrade it to wood maybe, in like an episode or two later. But it's gonna be just an elaborate dirt hut, that's like a dirt haunted mansion type thing.
I mean that works.
And
that's fine.
Yeah, it'll look interesting.
And that's what you want. You want something visually that people can't mock.
Yeah,
or at least can mock, but can be improved on.
Yeah, here's my incredibly lazy dirt house.
You see, no, I need to tell you that off straight. I'll tell you what my theme is off camera, because I was going to show you my new skins and I forgot.
Oh, yeah, I still need to go in and make all those Darren Nichols skins.
Yeah.
Go on.
I also need to do some more animation before the start of the season so I can get my story straight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because that's where my story's going. So,
Gotcha.
embrace the storm. I did that because you had an X in front of your name. Ha. Has raided. Welcome to the stream. We are here. I'm talking to Joe about Hermitcraft and doing papercraft stuff because it's fun. Yay!
Yay!
Yay! Welcome. I hope you had a nice stream.
Okay. But yeah, I've got this this green glass flat world I'm using for like all my brainstorming stuff for the next season. And it's actually I've never done that before. I know a lot of the hermits since season 1 had like a creative world where they'd go test redstone and stuff.
I've never had a creative world.
Yeah, this is
I have my patron server which I'm stealing that. And they go, "Yeah, totally." And I'm like, "Really?" Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've never had a creative world. Maybe that's my problem. Maybe I should start planning instead of just doing.
Well, and that's the thing though, is I'm like, I know that we're supposed to be using this time to take a break, but my health insurance just went up by $100 a month, and if I renew my lease is going up on my apartment by $100 a month. If I don't renew my lease, there's rent around here has gone insane because they can't evict anybody. They're just like, anybody new who comes in, we're going to charge an incredible amount just to make sure that you actually have money. And so I can't afford to move, and I can't afford to stay, but it's frustrating to have to pay an extra, like, so it's like, hey, no Hermitcraft for a while. Also, your expenses just went up by $200 a month, even if you do nothing else. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Hey, cheer ditties. Thank you very much indeed.
So even though I'm not able to chill out and relax as we've been recommended to do, I am, at the very least, going to try and use this time to plan differently than I have in the previous seasons.
Yeah,
even if it doesn't work out, it's a good time to run experiments like that.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
I've got a modded series coming out on Friday,
Nice.
which might run concurrent. I mean, it's a very old pack, but you know. I've always enjoyed it, so I say I've always enjoyed the previous versions of it. It's now in its like 4th iteration, so you know. So I used to do modded. I used to do modded like before I became a hermit.
Oh, me too. So, some of my most popular episodes, well, even no, I didn't do mine until after I became a hermit, but some of my most popular individual episodes were modded episodes for years.
So
yeah,
is it what you've been doing on stream? No, it's not create. It's something else. Although I am planning on continuing create stuff because I'm enjoying that, mostly because people aren't telling me what to do.
Yay.
That's the problem with modded, because people go, well, now you need to do this. Well, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I think you think you misunderstood the brief here. I get to do what I want to do, and I get to play how I want to play.
Yeah.
If you want to join and chat, that's fine.
That's the thing I don't like about a lot of modded stuff, is it's so much built around optimizing that people assume if you're not playing optimally, you're failing.
Yeah.
You know?
Whereas I've, like, in my current one, I'm making things pretty.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's the main thing for me. Being a Minecraft player, making things pretty is a big blooming deal.
Yeah. Oh, you know what we could do? Cleo, this might be.
This is true, Red.
This might be too wild. Is to have people. Well, maybe we bring a little bit of the flower forest forward with us, and people respawn in like a flower garden, right? And we have a few. We have a fence around it or wall or something to keep mobs out. But
yeah.
So rather than having like a stone plaza or something,
yeah,
we just decorate it and make it feel landscaped, and put some
azalea trees
in. Put some what?
azalea trees.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, we could speak to Jem because she likes custom trees.
Yeah.
And I'm sure once she's finished her thing, she'd be willing to help,
Okay. So, yeah,
especially if
let's
we pay her.
I'm going to go back to the ideas. So the idea is if we're doing it as a garden,
Mm-hmm.
um garden center, or
Yeah.
garden in the center, then we don't have to worry about tiling the floor or figuring anything
No.
else out. It creates a green space
Everybody sit up
that would
straight.
work
Correct
well.
legs. Mm-hmm.
And then we could also have like so I guess there's a few things that we would need. If we're gonna put in a portal though,
Mm-hmm.
we would need a place for the portal that would logically fit in the garden. Maybe have a pond around it or something. Like we could have a quote unquote reflecting pond for the portal.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
that could work. Just so people could get out of it, though. So it
yeah,
needs to be.
we need a bridge. What? Like
No,
no, I mean
no, I agree. I agree.
okay. So I'm just trying to get core concepts here, and then
Have I?
if
No,
we,
I haven't.
what in a park, we had talked about you talked about doing a barn for the storage. We could have the storage also be primarily underground and accessible through like a shed
Yeah.
or something like
I mean,
that.
greenhouses, if you've ever seen like the old Victorian greenhouses at like somewhere like Kew Gardens,
Yeah.
something like that would be nice. But I'm trying to figure out how we would do that.
Well, here's the other thing though: is we need initially a place for people to just get food and weapons and tools, and those could be barrels and stuff by the exit.
Yeah, that works. But it's a case of, okay, eventually we're going to need to make it storagier.
Yeah, well, but the thing is, like, I guess what I'm looking at is the day one needs are to get people back in the action quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So we throw a bunch of barrels with
Yep.
signs that say food, armor, tools, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we build the sheds that lead down to like the HHH storage depots
Yeah.
later, right? Because
Yes.
we don't the big thing that I don't want is I don't want people to build so close to this area that we can't put the HHH depots in later. We need a big
Yes.
footprint. So to get the big footprint, we put in the farms initially.
Mm-hmm.
So we have we have wheat fields, potato fields, carrot fields, animal fields, livestock pasture.
Mm-hmm.
Surrounding this garden, and then we replace the wheat, carrot, and potato farms eventually with garden expansions and maybe greenhouses and sheds that lead into storage areas
Yeah, that works.
or
That
communal
works.
stuff. Is that
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that works
logical?
for me. Is this thicker than normal? Yes, it is much thicker. Stuff could be in the gift shop. Yeah. I mean,
Well, I don't know that we want to build a gift shop day one. Like we.
not day one.
Yeah.
We're thinking historically, yeah. But if it's like a special garden area,
Also,
these have gift shops.
Gotcha. We just got a tip from Alfie for 5 who says roses are red and because of the moon, the next Hermitcraft season is coming out soon. Have a lovely day, Joe. Well, thank you, Alfie.
You sure about that?
That puts us 5 away. Well, the soon is in quotes. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/Joe Hills. Yeah, I didn't do the air quotes. Sorry, because I was moving the abacus beads. Soon.
2 gnomes of cyclopean scale flank ancient portal still covered in slime and debris of the silent deep. Yeah, no, that's probably a personal build rather than everything like that. Thank you, Sacred, for subscribing. If you look to your left and to your right, you'll see there are no exits. I'm very sorry about that.
Okay.
But you're stuck here now.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, and then keep in mind too, I guess there is a possibility, we're kind of assuming that World Spawn's going to be in a flat space. World Spawn could just be on a cliff. And we could end up having to build platforms. No, I'm serious. Like, There could be
no. I'm just thinking. Do you remember season 2?
Yeah.
The first thing we built together.
We were working on like a plaza or a...
We did the Hanging Gardens.
The Hanging Gardens. Okay, yeah.
So, I'm not saying we recreate that, but we could have it multi-level like we did there.
Uh-huh.
So that's something that we could look back and do.
Yeah. Well, and actually this is a good point, is like maybe we just need to be ready to adapt to whatever. Because like
that's my plan for the season.
Yeah. Because I was thinking about this very narrowly. Like we could have our respawn be on an iceberg, and so and literally we just build and we just add some lights and throw some barrels in the ice and like make it look like a ship is frozen in the ice or something. But like,
well, yeah, we don't know what's coming, which is which actually makes me more excited for this spawn than any spawn we've done in the last 3 seasons. Not knowing is great. Because 1, it doesn't put any pressure on me, but 2, it's just sort of like, well, what if this happens? I could do this. And I've got a theme coming in for this season, but, adapting it to like deep dark and and mountains. In fact, I really want a mountain.
Okay. Yeah, so let's see here. A mountain would be really cool.
And for me personally, a mountain, but yes, it would be really cool if we started on a mountain, because mostly I'd like to see everybody just trying to get down.
So somebody's complaining that I blocked them on Twitter. Here is my mute and block count on Twitter. I don't know if this is showing up. I have 13,068 people blocked. And so they're like, I don't know why you have me blocked. I don't either, but...
It's a case of Joe is very much of, if you annoy me on somewhere, you're blocked.
Well, so
and it happens.
Yeah, basically, if you responded obnoxiously to anybody I follow, I block you. If you promote a tweet, I block you. I would say probably about 11,000 of those are individually blocked advertisers. Because I probably block 20 to 30 advertisers on Twitter a day. Every time an ad shows up, I immediately click block without looking at it. But yeah, like one thing I've noticed though is that if somebody says something obnoxious to one of my friends' tweets, and then I make a tweet later, they're way more likely to show up again and say something obnoxious to my tweet. And I don't care if somebody replies negatively to me individually, but like it's when I tweet at something like at Jevin or at Cleo or at Cub, and somebody jumps in with something obnoxious. I'm like, now you're spamming Cleo or Cub or Jevin. You're making me a party to your obnoxiousness. So I don't know what you did, and I don't care. And I would have had no idea that you were blocked on Twitter if you didn't mention it here. So I probably wouldn't mention it here, just as general advice. Because like now I'm like, should I block you on YouTube too? I don't know, maybe. But I don't know.
My advice is, if you're blocked, just go and move on, because when you get enough people following you on like YouTube or Twitter, it's a case of mental self-preservation. You might not have meant to say anything, but sometimes it's a case of, I'm going to need to make a judgment call, and that judgment call is, I don't need it.
Yeah, I don't have time to make informed decisions with Twitter blocking. No. I'm just like, I gotta get through the day. If something is taking up space in my feed I don't want to see, like if you got retweeted by somebody and I'm like, okay, I can either unfollow this person or block the annoying things they retweet. I sometimes will just block annoying things people retweet. Like, so I don't know. Okay. So, yeah, boy.
It's probably not personal. Let's leave it at that.
If it was personal, I would know your name. Like, I'm going to be honest, there are some people I block and I remember them, but you're not one of them. So it's not personal.
Oh, a Puddle Slime has resubscribed for 5 months. Last Scissors didn't save your sub. Happy 5 months if you two enjoy Harry Potter. Oh no. We're not promoting Harry Potter here. But I appreciate you still.
Okay. So I need to figure out. Okay, so different scenarios we could have. We could have cliff. We could have a cliff where we need to build basically shelves and caves, maybe, and ladders.
Yeah.
Uh,
Probably going to need quite a few ladders if we end up in a mountain.
yeah. So at that point, we would probably want to add like a water feature at the bottom, so people can just drop off as well too if they're like going down to the ground. So if we had like a big iceberg,
why would we need etho?
If we were on an iceberg, we would probably want to build like a shipwreck.
Yeah.
Frozen in the ice.
That'd be really cool. Actually, that would be incredibly cool.
Yeah. And honestly, in a lot of ways, if we have an ocean spawn like that, that's where it becomes super important to have the respawn so you can have boats. So we got to prioritize in particular. Yeah.
I mean, it's a case of getting people to where they need to go, so...
Yeah, could vines stand in for ladders? Yeah, if we have lines, that's great. But, like, to get to harvest vines, you need iron. And so, you got to keep in mind, we're trying to figure out what's the maximum impact we can have in the first hour of the server, right? And a lot of that is just food, tools...
Murder supplies.
Yeah. Okay.
Murder supplies is always good.
So I'll brainstorm maybe on my... So I'm actually doing brainstorming streams where I'm like in the creative world, trying things out. Just with the idea being that like, honestly, like people on my stream are used to having stuff kind of spoiled for them anyway because they're seeing the episode being filmed before it's filmed, right? And so me experimenting with stuff like that on stream, especially because what's not going to be in there is the actual interactions with other hermits, right? I want to be able to have my episodes focus more on interactions with other people, so solving a bunch of architecture and geometry problems now lets me kind of front load that that cognitive overhead so that then I have more brain capacity for social stuff in the episodes.
The social stuff is a big part of the first episode.
Yeah. Well, but the thing is, though, the reason people like the first episode is the social stuff. The question is, how do we keep the social stuff going through the second episode, and the third episode, and the fourth episode? And I think, like, when I look at my first, second, third, fourth episodes, a lot of them are... like they start off very social and then it jumps over to me going like, okay, now I gotta figure out how to build this house. Let's move this roof this way. Let's move this way. And I spend all my time like revising and reworking my house or something and not talking to anybody else. And so the other thing I like about building the house with dirt initially and then replacing it with wood and coral as we go is I can say, hey, Jevin, I got my starter house here made out of dirt, but I want to replace all the walls with acacia. Do you mind helping me replace these walls? Or I want to put glass windows in where the fences are. And so, like, I can be hanging out and talking to them about what are you doing this season so far, you know, while we swap things out and have more of a social thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Oh, another thing that I noticed is... there are certain things that like tend to be early season activities, like nether portal linking and mining, right?
Right.
And maybe we should try and like maybe buddy up or group up for that sort of thing. Like maybe somebody should build a community mine. I feel like if we're...
God, I remember the community mines.
Well, the thing is, though, that if we don't know where our bases are going to be, at least some of us, on day one,
Yeah.
we're not going
Yeah.
to go just build mines at our bases, right?
No, that's true.
Um, and that was a question I had too. Is like, should the community mine entrance be an HHH thing, or should that maybe we should try and find somebody else who wants to focus on that and lead that project?
I don't know. I genuinely don't.
But I kind of want maybe my first mining underground exploration episode to be a hangout type thing. You know, like when you, me, and Pearl were like looking for netherite with the beds and the mining.
Yeah, no, I get that.
You know,
I get that.
like so instead of having the first mining episode being a solo mining episode, could it be a collab mining episode?
That's possible.
Yeah. Just doing stuff as a group, or not as a 21-person group or 25-person group. I don't even know how many hermits there are, but
28?
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, I think it's like at least 27, 28, yeah.
Wow.
There's a lot of us now.
Yeah. Aviva Kitty says it's 26. Mahi Zero agrees. So.
Well, there you go then. I was wrong.
Dre Sencho says mining is very different now. That's the other thing, is I don't know the optimal mining patterns.
No.
Alyssa says Impulse noticed it's easier to explore buried treasure than it is to mine for diamonds in 118. Oh, that's interesting.
I mean, to be fair, most of what I want to start out doing is exploring like the world. You know, I want to be making maps instead of mining. So, you know.
Yeah, I was curious like, okay, because I was thinking about possibly an HHH thing for like as we replace the farms. You know, one of them would be the big supply depot with the gravel and the coal, or not coal, gravel, stone, cobble, dirt, that sort of thing. But another possibility was a big map room.
Yeah,
and
it's always nice to do.
Yeah, so if you were planning on doing a lot of that sort of thing anyway, and I was planning
I'm quite happy to do that.
Doing some mapping, so we can, you know, put down some signs too, you know, and I think that'll help kind of build some hype. If like where the farms are, you know, we put down a sign, future site of HHH supply depot, future site of HHH map board, or whatever, and then you know, say we'll come back to these in future episodes, you know, stay tuned, that sort of thing.
Works for me.
Nepeta Legion says, would it make more sense to have automatic community farms than the spawn chunks? Well, the thing is, though, the quote-unquote spawn chunks are, it's not just the world spawn that's continuously loaded, right? It's like a few chunks. Also, if people want to build that stuff up in the sky or deep underground or wherever, they're welcome to do that. But one thing we ran into was when we had, it was better to have farms that we could turn off by unloading the chunks than to constantly tax the server by having the chunks at world spawn.
I mean, we do, like we have in the past, sometimes moved spawn chunks.
Yeah.
So, you know, if it's been, you know, 100% necessary.
Yeah. So, Sarah says you need to mine for different materials in different places. So, iron is easier to find at higher elevations. Coal is not found at all below level 0. So, I mean, really, it makes sense to me to have, like, an actual, like, cool community mine. I'm hoping somebody else does that. But if they don't, then, like, maybe that's us.
HHH.
Too. Yeah, maybe that's an HHH. Because, like, that would be that and a rough nether portal network. I know HHH does a lot of nether portal linking, but oh my gosh, when we don't, nothing gets done.
Yeah, there were people that were complaining about the nether in this season. I'm like, that is the best nether we've ever had. It might not have been the coolest nether we've ever had, but it is the one that is most consistently linked up.
It's functional.
It is the one that functions the best. Becca has resubscribed. That's a 2-month resub, thank you. But yeah, it's it may not be the prettiest, and I'd argue that it's quite pretty, but it does the job, and I don't get lost.
Yeah.
You know, people can go to the purple tunnel, and I know where that is.
Yeah.
So that never saved me from getting lost so many times in World. See? I mean, that was partly why we were jamming it out so quickly.
Yeah.
Because we knew it was coming. We knew that the world download was going to need it.
Duskadair says, I loved the Season 6 Nether until I tried it in person and got immediately lost. Yeah.
Main function of good Nether is to keep the profits rolling for the Elytra sellers, right?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
No, not quite.
So, yeah.
It's not epic, but really practical. I mean, that's the thing. Even in the big epic, what season was it when we had like the world map on the floor?
Season 6 maybe?
Season 6. I got lost in that. I got lost in that so many times.
Yeah, because like the floor wasn't very well lit compared to everything else, so it was hard to see where you were.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need to go and get my pencil sharpener and also refill my drink. So, Cleo, do you mind covering for me with the chats?
No, we're good. We're good.
Okay, I'm going to put my hydration break thing up. Once I get the actual pencil sharpener, I can really start drawing, but be right back, guys.
All right. Oh, my fingers are very, very sore right now. So, are you late for the party? This isn't a party. This is a trauma bonding session. This is where we come to traumatize Joe and then, you know, accept that that's the way that things are going to be for the rest of time. So, and I'm here making a koala. The Nether link up, all hermits could elect a chosen block. That's the thing. A lot of the hermits, I mean, no one likes doing the Nether. No one, that is a job that when you say, who wants to do the Nether this year? No one goes, me. And then they go, oh. So I think we're actually kind of over the Nether as a concept. So, yeah. Used to use these X-Actos. This is a scalpel. It's not an X-Acto knife. This is surgical scalpel is what this is. So, I don't know if X-Acto knife is just like a vacuum cleaner. Like that's the brand. It's entirely possible. It's just basically a blade attached to a handle. That's what a scalpel is. It's a blade attached to the handle. You know, it's just a scalpel, like precision cutting tool. Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's a precision tool. And I'm using it to cut out paper. You know, thanks to Corpse for. I'm doing a quality job. Oh, reptilian. Oh, that's oh, that was good. I liked that one. So yeah, I'm easily led. It's fine. So what do you guys want to see in Hermitcraft? Like, bear in mind that I'm going to ignore everything. What do you want to see in Hermitcraft Season 9 specifically? Mini Cheese Mouse Chip Biddies, you're going to put funky paper behind the koala. If I can find some funky paper, maybe. That's a possibility.
Howdy, Cleo.
Hi, Joe.
I'm curious what people want to see, too.
More collabs? Carol's return.
It honestly didn't occur to me to ask. Like, it's funny, it's like, I'm just like, I think I've probably done 4 or 5 brainstorming streams in the creative world, and I never actually, like, thought to say, like, what do y'all want to see? I'm just like, here's what we're working on today. I need a starter house. Okay, we're gonna work on the concept for my mega base. Let's figure out how big it needs to be at what scale. Okay, we were gonna work on
community games seems to be a thing, like games at the community, like head games and stuff. I might do head games. It's a longer season, so it might be worthwhile doing it. But I'd need to find a twist for that because, you know. Oh my giddy aunt.
What?
Releasing the Phoenix has tipped $100 and said, finally managed to catch one of these live. Thank you so much. That's so nice of you.
Woo!
Oh, I needed that. My freezer broke.
Oh no.
Yesterday, and all the I was just like, I'm gonna stock it up. I'm gonna get like healthy meals, and it's all gone.
Oh.
It's all gone, and it's just like I've had to buy a new freezer, and now I have to restock the thing. So thank you, Phoenix.
Oh, that's
not
that's
leaking.
Rough.
I'm not.
Oh
but yeah.
Yeah, that happened. About a year and a half ago, we had this 3-day power outage, and it was right because it was during the pandemic. I had just done a huge food run to Costco to get like food for like 3 or 4 weeks, and so everything in the freezer, everything in the fridge, all wiped out. Like, it was miserable.
It was heartbroken. It was just sort of like I just did a whole bunch of batch cooking, so I was prepared.
So you made the food that died in the freezer. Oh no.
Yeah. Oh. Thank you, Crustream, for the freezer fund. Thank you for the biddies. It was just like, I made it all. I was prepared. I was a grown up, and then it's gone. It's just gone, and it's like, yeah. Kind of gutted, but it's just food. So yeah, I've had to fork out for a new freezer, and then I'm gonna have to buy all the food again. So kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah. It was an unexpected expense. So, yay.
Okay, you know what? I need to maybe brainstorm some. People are saying do collabs or whatever, and I think you're right. But like,
it's a question of how.
Yeah, the question is, what could I do? Like, for example, I don't think I did anything with Ren last season, and that's
no.
Really,
to be fair, Ren was really busy with Doc last season.
Yeah, Ren was. Yeah, he was super busy with the Hermatrix stuff, and like, but like what was frustrating too is I would say, hey, if you guys need help, let us know. And then they'd be like, no, we don't have time to collab because we're digging out an entire chunk by hand. And it's like, well, no, that's let us know if you need help.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know how to... I feel like there was kind of a communication breakdown there. And I'm going to be generous and assume I didn't do a good job of, like, explaining that, like, hey, if you're too busy to do a collab because you're doing something mindless, please invite me to do something mindless. And we can talk... Yeah. And I'll cut it down to 3 minutes of the funniest jokes for the video.
Oh, thank you, guys. Thank you, Brad, for giving out the community gift sub. And thank you, Canarusha, for the $10 for the freezer fund. Thank you so much.
Yeah, like, one thing I need to do is I need to start logging onto the server earlier in the day more often.
Yeah.
To try, because, like, I haven't done anything with Mumbo for a while, really.
I don't think I've done anything with Mumbo. I mean, the closest I got to do anything with Mumbo recently was oh god, it was me going onto when I was live streaming on Hermitcraft, and just I ended up wandering a pot next to him. I don't think I've collaborated him within seasons.
It was the Hobbit thing, I think, because you were hobbits together.
Yeah, the Hobbit thing. That was the really closest thing. Oh, I really enjoyed the Hobbit thing.
6 or 7?
Oh, thank you, NJ, for the gifts. It's appreciated. You guys are so nice.
So, if y'all were going to see me collaborate with Mumbo on something, what would it be? What should... Because, like, I guess I don't really build things that need redstone, I was thinking, Cleo, and this is not just me saying, like, Cleo, help me fix my season. This is me saying, like, so for example, what if, so let's say that we did have the underground HHH depot. What if on the surface we had a, like, place where you could put shulkers above hoppers or something?
Yeah.
And we had, like, a sorting system.
Yeah, that could work.
And
I'm also thinking we could make a competition about resource gathering, or like who donated the most to the HHH fund, and we'd have to figure out some way of getting that.
Yeah, that's the big thing is I haven't figured out. Now people do like your what do you call those? Your armor stand diorama type stuff. You know.
They do.
And so like we could offer that as a prize, but that's you doing work and not necessarily like I mean, you could have me come on as an apprentice and like
the thing is, I give out vouchers for those and nobody cashes them in.
Really? I thought they did sometimes.
No. All the work that I get is paid for.
Oh, nobody actually uses the vouchers.
Nobody ever uses the vouchers. Oh my goodness. Cosima has tipped $40 for the freezer fund, and Arena has tipped a pie for the freezer fund. I'll get a pie with that, Arena. I promise. Thanks, guys. It's very much appreciated. Oh gosh. Okay, Sick Little Puppet has done a 1,100 biddies for the freezer. Oh my goodness. You're going to pay for an entire new freezer at this rate. It's okay. We're okay.
Good. Cleo needs an entire new freezer.
Cleo's already ordered an entire new freezer, but thank you for paying me back. It's very much appreciated. Freezer 2! The freezening. So, yeah.
So, like, I guess there's some question of, like...
You want to build a million stands again. He never finished.
I mean, I got like 2/3. That was a lot of armor stands.
There was a lot of armor stands.
And you weren't actually using them either.
No, well, I was. It's just...
No, but you weren't using all of them.
No, it's really difficult to use a million armor stands, but I wanted them. If I could have had them, I would have wanted them.
Yeah. Okay.
Place a smaller freezer in a bigger freezer. Alice has donated $10. Thank you very much, guys.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So that's 1, 2 down.
Oh, money can go towards food into a newly ordered freezer. That's true. That is true, Sam. Thank you. I didn't think about that. I just sometimes I get a bit funny about what people give money for, and I realise that's a me problem.
Mm-hmm.
But I appreciate it. Don't put a freezer into a freezer; it will break both of them. The freezers are quite large, so yeah, I'm assuming that's true.
I used to have more of a problem with that before I became a single parent, and now I'm like, oh god, I need all the help I can get, please. Like, I can't afford to have pride because then my child won't eat.
I don't know. It's one of those things, and I really appreciate it. I like everybody who gifts us things. That's it's outstanding. It's just amazing, and we really do appreciate it. However, sometimes I just go, ooh, I hope you guys are making sure that you're okay first. Please do that first. NX Supert has cheered 1,000 bitties for the freezer fund. Thank you. Make sure you guys are okay first, okay? That's all I'm asking. That's all I want. I want you guys to be all right. But thank you, and I do appreciate everything that you give. Oh, you're so nice. I'd watch a Cleo charity stream where Ladono Freshode gets an armor stand statue. The problem with that is getting things sorted, because armor stands are tricky. Mm-hmm. You know, because like if you're looking at let's go for my favorite one. The best one that I ever did was Wile E. Coyote for Tango.
Uh-huh.
And that was 200, less than 200 armor stands.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so they, like, when you're saying the top donator gets an armor stand, I don't know how that would even work for a charity stream. I mean, I really want to do a charity stream.
Okay. Yeah, so the way to do it is you don't do it for the top donor or whatever. You do it, you set a price. You say, at $1,000, you get an armor stand. Not a full armor stand scene necessarily, but like, we'll put you doing something, right?
Yeah.
And
I mean, that I wouldn't count as I see where you're going with that, but
But did you see like how Cub and I handled the Love Tropics thing, where it's like,
I didn't get a chance to.
okay,
I'm sorry.
so the idea was $5, which is like an amount. We might have one amount that like was approachable regardless of people's income level, right? So $5, you get a bamboo sapling and a sign, right?
Yeah.
$25, you get a basic oak tree and a sign. $50, you get a oak tree, a sign, and like some glowberries and what's that pink flower on it? The big pink spore blossom.
Spore blossom, yeah.
Yeah. And so to actually get like custom tree, it was like $500. Right? So that way we wouldn't be just making, and we raised $14,000 I think in 2 hours.
Jeez. That's outstanding.
Yeah.
That's really good.
It is. This community is ludicrously generous. So like it's incredibly like overwhelming in a lot of ways. But when you're doing charity tiers and stuff like that, you have to make sure that you don't actually ruin the stream by getting mechanically overwhelmed as well as emotionally overwhelmed. It's fine to get emotionally overwhelmed as long as you can keep up the pace. But like when we would have we got to a point where we had like we were 37 minutes behind on donations. Like
Jesus Christ.
And
that's a lot.
Like we were putting in a sign on a bamboo for somebody that donated 37 minutes earlier. So seriously, if you can afford to pop in and help for even just like the first hour or first 30 minutes of one of those streams, we would love to have you, because like the last 2 years it's just been me and Cub, and like
it's a lot.
But yeah, if you were gonna make an elaborate armor stand scene like the Wile E. Coyote thing, that would have
that's an entire that's 5 hours of work.
Yeah, basically, like, to get a 5-minute custom tree. Honestly, the custom trees and the custom fish the year before we did like a coral reef thing, we tried to time those so those were 3 to 5 minutes, and those were the $500, $1,000 items. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what could you do with an armor stand in 5, or what could you do with armor stands in 3 to 5 minutes?
In 3 to 5 minutes, if I wanted to do a battle, you could be a person in the battle if I'd got, like...
Oh, that'd be cool. So you build this crazy battle scene and you're adding additional people, like a fracas, a melee, a brawl.
Yeah.
Smash Brothers Fracas hasn't come out yet, has it?
No.
Okay.
I mean, like, at $5, it would be kind of like, you get something named after you. You're a person doing a thing, which is easy to do. Like maybe somebody in the battle line just waiting.
Yeah.
I'd need a lot of heads for that. Oh, I've got a great idea for my shop. Hang on. I'm just going to actually type it to you before I forget in Discord, because these guys you can't know. Give me a second.
So I drew a picture of B-Dubs here because he and I haven't really done any interactions much this last season either. And I was thinking, like, we could have him texture the what do you call it? Have him texture the haunted house. So I do it initially in dirt, and then I bring him by and say, "Hey, B-Dubs, I created this house out of locally sourced dirt, but with the locally available block palette, what would you recommend we texture it with wood-wise?" So, like, if we end up in an acacia biome, I'd say, what would complement the acacia? And he could come in and give me some pointers on texturing. Or
yeah, I mean, that's like a really nice little thing.
And that seems fast and easy.
Yeah, and that's what we want. That came out wrong.
Gotcha.
Where did my knife go? It's there.
So, Cleo, just to clarify, when you say you're going to be doing that, are you drawing those yourself? Are you doing the pixel art yourself, or are you commissioning that?
I do it myself.
Awesome. I was just curious.
Or I do have a friend that does it who's already said that I can use theirs.
Well, the issue with that is you would need to get permission for it to be featured in everyone's videos.
I already pretty much have that. So
No, but like written permission for us to produce if required.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. But mostly I was going to do it myself.
Yeah.
Because I can do the pixel art.
Yeah.
And then it's just, the murder.
Yeah. Hey, Leaf Fire Green, we're doing some brainstorming for the next season and drawing. But like, in the same way that you probably get tired of constantly being asked, hey, can you come do a diorama for me or whatever?
No one's asked, except for XB.
Okay. That XB diorama is ludicrously good.
Is it the diorama or the giant worm? The giant worm is amazing.
Yeah.
The giant worm is the highlight of that, and I didn't do any of that. That's all XB.
Yeah. I've been trying to think of shop ideas.
The mech suit.
For next
I
season.
enjoyed the mech suit. The mech suit was fun. Because, now that I've got copper rods, that's a whole thing I can do.
Mm.
I'm not selling myself short. I'm just aware that, here's the issue. The issue is that I don't think that armor stands, the stuff that I do is that amazing, because you guys have seen what my patrons can do. Mm-hmm. They are 100% better than me. Like whatever I can do, they can do it better. So. So it's not me selling myself short. It's me being realistic about what the capabilities of the book is.
Yeah.
So I'm glad people like it, and I'm sorry that I can't be as good as the best people in the world at something.
That's okay, Cleo. We believe in you anyway.
Yay.
Yay.
Not the best, but adequate.
Yeah. You know who I haven't done anything with was False this season.
I don't think I've done anything with False for season. My job meant I was very alone for a while. So, when I say I haven't done it in seasons, it's not that I don't want to, it's just that,
Yeah.
The mech was my favourite. Corvallis and XB were just little boys giggling in delight over it. I didn't actually see that. I didn't see that bit. I did go check through videos, but I didn't. Here's the thing. I didn't have time to go through everyone's video in minute detail to see the reaction of it, which is sad, because XB has been really good about my skills, and he's just like, I want this, do it however you like. And I'm like, all right then. So that's how it works. I really like it when people give me reference images that they want, because I can recreate from a reference. But
it's way easier.
Like, do what you like. Okay, I'll try. XB is lovely. XB is so sweet.
Okay.
How you doing, Joe?
I'm good. I'm just trying to figure out how False's skin works, because I was gonna draw the. So she's got the overlay with the goggles.
It's not something you want to say to anybody, like, False. So how does your skin work?
Yeah, it's like that gets real creepy real fast.
That's a bit creepy. I'm gonna need the bathroom though, so
Okay.
can you carry the chat for a minute?
Howdy, Cleo's chat. Centauratron wants to see with armor stands with Doc Octopus's arms. Reptilian Tomekeeper says, wish I had Java, because I want to use armor stands to make a spindly humanoid monster. When E.T. Ford says, XB is down to earth, love his streams and videos. Kiana Rusha says she was moving country. General Mayhem MC, howdy. Graves says, Joe's piggyback rides. Stress was mainly on Vault Hunters. Yeah, I'm not... Hey, welcome, Varani. I could do something like poetry magnets, put words on paper for people to build magnetic poetry kits. Oh, that's an interesting idea. The thing is, in the game, it wouldn't work very well. Just do the goggles first and carry on from there, says Vicky Hamlin. Yeah, that's probably what I need to do. So, it looks like for false, you would have like a gray plus that's open in the middle with white, or lighter gray even. And then you're going to have yellow hair. What sorts of collabs? So this is kind of one of those things like, y'all get to watch other Hermits episodes more than I do, because I'm busy making Hermitcraft episodes. What sort of collabs does False seem to shine in? What sort of collabs do you like seeing False in? And does she seem to have fun with? Because, like, I feel like if I go bother people and say, hey, what do you have fun doing? That's putting a burden on them. Whereas I'd rather come to them and say, hey, I thought you might enjoy doing this on my channel. Here's my suggestion, you know? Or you might enjoy doing a collab where we do this together, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then this would be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 down here. And then this kind of comes across here. And then down there. False enjoys minigames the most. Might be a good person to go mining with. She wants more people to play minigames with. Gem dragged her into collabs, would say, I have a project for her, and let False put her spin on stuff. She enjoys pranks. Pranks is a good idea, too. These color pencils are not ad supported. These are just the ones I bought at the store. So, go buy whatever you want from your store. Like, Jubilee says, I watched 10 Hermits and False shows none of the videos. Hey, welcome, I'm Angel. False tends to vibe with community game events like XP's Ava Cavings thing. You know, resource gathering race might be fun. Anabomb Banana says trolling someone with False. End busting might be good. A lot of people are saying trolling and shenanigans. So, I kind of think I need to be spending more time brainstorming pranks. The big problem with pranks is I can't do them during the streams. Abba Caving would be a lot different with 118. Yeah, we could do some sort of Abba Caving 118 remix. B-Dubs likes a good prank. Yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead here and get the blue out.
I'm back.
Welcome
Hello.
back.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. Yep, so I was trying to get people to help me brainstorm like what False might like doing collab wise. And a lot of people are saying pranks and mini games. And I was playing Tarjay the other day, and there's some good stuff in there. Like, I was thinking of revisiting, though, one of Cub's mini games, which had the timing was based on button length, and it was kind of, oh, I forget which one it was, but it looked like a Forbidden City pagoda type thing, and it had targets that pop up And I was thinking of rebuilding that one with custom timing, because the timing on the game, the core concept of the game was solid, but the timing of how long the target stayed up was based on whether you pressed a wood button or a stone button at the beginning of the game. And the fast mode was just slightly too fast for human reflexes. It might have been whack-a-mole. Like, so basically, on the fast mode, you had to basically shoot at where targets might be and hope that they popped up there, because they wouldn't stay long enough for you to release the button once they appeared, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that sounds horrific.
Rube Engerman says whack-a-mole. Yeah, so yeah, the doing a whack-a-mole minigame, based loosely on that, and maybe consult with Cub, and have him kind of...
I mean, Cub's always up for a collab.
Yeah.
What's the plan on the koala? I don't know. It's like, what's the plan on any of my stuff? I don't know. When it's there, it's there.
Yeah.
It'll be pretty. Which is the main thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're going to put false down for mini games and pranks.
I mean, there wasn't a lot of pranking really going on this season.
Well, part of
speaking.
it... Okay, you know what part of that was, though? Was because we had to lock the exterior...
Yeah.
For the animation.
Mm-hmm.
And so we couldn't do big builds out. We couldn't massively change people's big builds. But yeah, okay, so let's see. Gummy Bear tips 10. Thank you very much, Gummy Bear. That puts us $5 past our next Face Gamer expansion. So here we go. It's time to expand. And that puts us 15 away from the next expansion. What, Cleo?
Do you remember when we used to give people presents for their birthdays?
I made Jeff a card last week.
I mean,
this isn't something that I've given up.
Craft.
Yeah, we could get back to that. That'd be good.
Because, you know, I remember like giant objects being built.
Oh yeah.
Like,
we would build sculptures in people's bases as presents. Yeah. And let's see, Gummy Bear says, I wanted to say thank you for streaming Civ 6. It's just what I was looking for in a strategy game. Did you say they have a space colonization version too? Yeah, it was called Civilization Beyond Earth, and I played a lot of that. It came out between Civ 5 and Civ 6. I enjoyed it a lot, but...
Is it better or worse than Civ 5 and 6?
When the base... The problem with all Civs is the base game is always not as good as the previous one with all the expansions.
Yeah.
So Beyond Earth, at first, it was kind of empty, because there's like a lot of the planets had a lot of water, and you couldn't really do much on the water. But then the big expansion for that was like the ocean expansion, and it was really good. I got a lot of Civilization Beyond Earth.
I played a lot of Civ 6, and I played a lot of Civ 4, but Civ 5 sort of passed me by.
Yeah, I'm playing Civ 6 on stream some. I did a stream where, I say a stream, 40 hours of streams where I played as Poland, because my mom's dad is full-blooded Polish. And then, and we spread the religion of turtle power throughout the world, and eventually got a tourism victory, though. And now I'm playing as Scotland, and I've got, because my mom's mom was Scottish, and I've got the religious attribute of pilgrimage, so I can have Scottish pilgrims versus the world. It's a play on Brian Lee O'Malley's comics, Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah, it took me
It's
a
a 7-volume box set that you can get at your local bookseller. That's not an ad. I'm not getting paid for that. Brian Lee O'Malley, if you're watching, you have more money than me. Please help.
Thanks, Joe.
What?
You have more money than me. Please help. I mean, I think that's the every charity ad going, isn't it? You have more money than me. Please help.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's not a lot of ads that I would actually do, but if Brian Lee O'Malley was like, "Hey, do you want to help promote the new Scott Pilgrim thing?" Or the new... He wrote a book called Wish that I bought a friend for his birthday. I haven't had the chance to read it yet, but that looked good. I need to read it, but... Okay. Let's see. But yeah, we didn't really do a lot of pranks, but pranks are hard to plan in advance of the season because they really depend a lot on the landscape.
And they really
the
depend on what the other person is doing that season.
Mm-hmm.
Is Joe in the UK with Cleo, or is he just calling? Joe's right here. He's right here with me.
Yay. Oh, I actually need to look into visa stuff. So, okay. I think I'm going to try to get to Scotland to look at houses. But and specifically, I'm probably going to be looking around Edinburgh. I don't know if you would want to coordinate an Edinburgh trip, and we could look for good places for houses together, not necessarily to buy the same house. But I'm just saying, at the point where like I'm going around checking places out, you might. I mean, in the very least, I can write a summary for you.
Mine would be on the opposite coast, really, because Edinburgh is expensive.
Gotcha. Well, so the thing is, I need the international airport, and also I kind of want to be there for Fringe Festival. Because that would.
I'm going to be honest. The other coast is like 2 hours away, so you know it's not.
It's not impossible.
It's not onerous.
Yeah. So what I'm looking at, people are saying, wait, for real? Yeah, I'm considering moving to Scotland. Now the thing is, the timeline for this is what I do once my kid goes to college. Like I can't move internationally unless my ex, who married a German citizen, moves to Germany, like, which would probably only happen in like the case of like a Trump re-election. Like if he expels immigrants from Germany or something, that could happen. But like it'd be hard for one parent to take a child off the continent without the other parent also leaving the continent. So what I'm looking at though is trying to buy a place and build equity until my I'm gonna probably have to renew my current lease for 16 months. So the plan is in the next 16 months, save enough money to buy a house somewhere in the United States, which I don't know where yet. But Nashville is going to probably price me out. So we'll have to look at other options. So 16 months from now, probably leave Nashville if I can't afford to stay, if I can't afford to buy a house. Because the problem is right now, I'm treading water. I'm not building enough savings to prepare for a good future. And so I'm like, does that count as living sustainably if I'm not actually accumulating any wealth or ability to buy a house? Or like, honestly, even trying to buy a house here, like I can't save enough money living here to buy a house here. So it was like, well, I could go rent somewhere in another city for 2 years or outside of town for 2 years to save up enough money to try and buy a house in Nashville and still maybe come up short. So like I'm thinking now, my plan is stay here so my kid doesn't have to change schools too many times until I save up enough money to buy a house somewhere in the United States. Move there, then get about probably 9 years of equity in that house, sell that, and try to go to Scotland. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
But so I was probably going to go.
Joe's opening change. Yep.
So yeah, I was thinking about going and visiting Scotland in like 2023 though, to get a sense of like to kind of do a sanity check on some parts of that.
Okay. Well, we've discussed how I'm probably going to react, but I'm open to meeting up.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing though, is like there's a difference between me saying, "Hey Cleo, I'm in London," and me saying, "Hey Cleo, I'm in Edinburgh." So it would require more.
Absolutely.
It would require more coordination on both of our parts in order to make that meetup happen at that point.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, no, like I can probably psych myself into 2023.
Yay.
You've given me a year's worth of notice or so, so you know.
Yeah, and once again, this is the current bad plan. But it's the least bad plan I have at this point. Because, like...
I mean, plans change all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is a koala, yes. But no, yeah, I like 2023. I could probably do. My schedule's a bit open. Oh, I started working in my journal in January the 1st, and it was like, yay! I get to see the effort of my hard work. It's actually really calming to you. In fact, I've got it here. I'll just.
Ooh, yay, calming.
It's actually really chill just doing it. So you know, being able to do it and having something pretty to work with, it's just so nice. It's just so nice.
Yay.
Hello, kitty.
So I think I'm gonna run and refill my drink real quick.
Yeah, you probably should.
Thank you. Hey, we just got a tip for 5, so thank you very much to Sergeant Pickles for that, who says, "Hey, Joe and Cleo, this is my contribution to the Joe Hills Relocation Fund. Hello from Seattle, and stay excellent. Thank you." And I will be right back.
I'll see you in a bit, Joe. You started a journal this year too. I mean, this is a bullet journal, which is specific kind of journaling, but you know, a lot of people use it as an art project. So I decided to take my extreme lack of focus and then focus it. I mean, next week I might start doing, or maybe not next week, maybe the week after next, I might start doing February's stuff on this stream, because like if we're doing this anyway and me and Joe are kind of about, so you know, I might as well do it on stream with Joe, so you know. But yeah. But it is cool, but I don't have enough going on in my life to justify a system. Well, you see, I thought the same, but then I looked at it and then I just went, actually, just having the lists in there, it helps my brain so much. So for example, I've got I'll plug this out now. I've got like content planners and editing tips and stuff that helps me work. And then I've also got things like trackers, habit trackers that I want to work on, and mood tracker, which I fill in daily, and it helps. So yeah, it's one of the things that is just like the physical act of writing things down is one therapeutic in itself, but also it's just nice to do. And because I do work from home, I need to motivate myself more, because that is really tricky to do. So yeah, if I find motivation helps.
Yay, motivation.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Cleo. Okay.
So is it just want to leave the US thing, and Scotland is a good option? Scotland is an excellent option.
I mean, it's one of those things, like, I'm worried about the long-term trajectory of the United States. Is one thing. I want to live somewhere with a good arts scene. Because, like I said, I know we previously discussed, like, you were talking about how you live 30 minutes away from, you know, a great cultural city. I live surrounded by places I can walk to. Like, and so, but, you know, it might be more affordable for me to go somewhere like Scotland than for me to stay in Nashville. I don't know.
I mean, going to London is arguably a terrible idea.
I didn't say London, I said Edinburgh. But
I know, but I'm just saying, if you had a choice,
yeah,
going to London would be a terrible idea.
I don't think I can afford it.
If you want for money.
Yeah.
I mean, arguably Edinburgh's pretty bad for money as well.
But the thing is, though, you could have like a workshop or a garage there. Like, that's one of the big things, is once my kid goes out to school, I want to be able to afford, like, my plan is to really expand to do like more craft streams, like in a workshop setting, and I don't think I'm going to be able to afford that until she goes to college, because
No.
living somewhere that's good for her schooling is unfortunately and also good for the way the custody travel situation is. The custody travel situation is really confining. But either way, thank you very much to Caitlin for tipping 20, who says, "Can I grow a hills? You sure can." Oh, I should turn the camera back on before I do that. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Expand Joe. Do. And then also
healthcare.
Yeah, healthcare long term is a thing. I'm tired of paying for health insurance. Hey, Christopher, thank you for the 10, who says, "Joe's House Fund. You have me addicted to Civ 6 now. I do what I can. Sorry for ruining your life." Anyway. Y'all have seen that money go straight to my head, but now, like Jacob Marley, these chains I forged in life are about to begin pulling me down to the deep below. Enter the Jost. Boom, 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 boom. Lowering the Joe opacity now to 90%. At this point, each additional face camera expansion will be accompanied by a corresponding drop in Joe opacity, and we are currently 20 even away from that next face camera expansion. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Yay. But yeah, Cleo, I mean, like, it's one of those things, like, part of it, too, is one of my main goals throughout my youth was to be able to leave the United States and travel and see the world. And I have never been able... I got to Canada once. Like, basically, it's like if I move to Europe somewhere, or Scotland in particular, or England or something, I can then, like, take trains and go places, like, and see stuff. And, you know, like, I don't know. I don't want to... I'm worried that if I stay here... That's one of the other big problems with staying in Nashville, is it's too expensive for me to travel very often to... Like, I can't take 2 weeks off to go to see France or Italy or Greece or anything like that now. And I don't think I honestly will... That's one of the reasons I was like, maybe 2023 for the Scotland trip, because at that point, hopefully, I can move somewhere cheaper that still has... The problem is it has to be cheap, but have good public schools, and also not make me... not ruin my life with the custody relocation agreement. So, like, moving further away from my ex would end up costing me money, whereas if I move to, like, near where she's at, it could save me money in terms of, like, legal stuff.
Right.
But at the same time, she lives in a ludicrously expensive part of Long Island, and there's nothing cheap anywhere near Long Island. So it's like, okay, what connects to the Long Island Railroad? What's across the Port Jefferson Ferry in Connecticut? Like, it's like, okay. And you know you're in trouble when you're like, okay, I want to save money. I'm going to move to Connecticut. Like, that's
really bad. Yeah.
That's bad. Hey, Mouse Mac, thank you for the 5, who says, "Here's a tip added to the relocation fund. Scotland is good, but I would say that I live here." Hey, well, thank you, Mouse Mac.
Well, here's the thing. Scotland is the place that I want to go because, you know, I want to get as close as I can to potentially being in the EU. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, eventually Scotland is going to separate. And I don't see it happening soon, but eventually.
And my grandmother was fierce about Scottish independence and a very, very big Scottish nationalist. And so I love the idea of maybe living to see an independent Scotland and living in that independent Scotland. And maybe that's a little bit silly and romantic of me, but... I mean, at this point, I don't really have anything else going for me. I might as well follow something. Like, I don't know. But, yeah. Another tip just rolled in for 20 from Melissa, who says, "Deposit on your seeing you travel move. Thanks for all the good times. Take care." Thank you very much, Melissa. That puts us 5 past our next face camera expansion, so here we go. Expand Jost. Do-do-do-do. Also, NJ Coffee Junkie says, at that point, you might as well, at the point where you're considering Connecticut, you might as well move to Hoboken. The problem is, getting to Long Island from Hoboken requires going through New York City, whereas getting to Long Island from Connecticut, you get to ride on a ferry. And honestly, I really like boats. And that's one of the things that I hate about living in Nashville. I only lived in Florida for 2 years when I was a kid, but I loved being close to the ocean. It was, I don't know, I just love being near water. And so the idea of, like, instead of dreading every custody handoff, being like, I get to ride on a boat, like, I think that would really be good for my mental health to have something positive to look forward to every time I have to say goodbye to my kid, because right now it's just, like, the worst. And part of this, too, is now that she's going to be turning 9 in a month, she's going to be, the custody agreement says that she has to do 2 unaccompanied round-trip flights a year to see her mom, and that's going to increase to 6 the year after that, and then the year after that it's going to be all the flights. And so that is going to... so that means an unaccompanied minor flight, from my point of view, is I drive her to the airport 3 hours early, because I have to get a special lanyard to go through security with her as the, like, dropping her off parent. Right. Then I have to stay there at the gate with her until the flight leaves the ground. Not until she boards the plane, but until the flight leaves the ground. So I cannot leave the gate. So I'm going to be possibly sitting there for 3 to 5 hours. And then I get to go home. I get to pay. So I have to pay for the parking, right, for a few hours. I go home. And then when it's time for her to fly back in, I have to go through I have to go to the airport. I have to go get a lanyard again, show a bunch of papers to get the lanyard for the unaccompanied minor pickup, and I have to wait for her at the gate. I can't wait for her outside security. I have to go through security. And I would have to do this every time. So, once again, at the age of 9, it's only twice a year, which is 2 round trips. So that's 2 drop-offs and 2 pickups. The next year, it's 6 drop-offs and 6 pickups. The year after that, it's every time she sees her mom, which is like every 3-day weekend from school, plus spring break, plus... It ends up being way more than 6 trips. And I don't know if I can deal with sitting in an airport, having all this time to think about how miserable this living half a country away from the other parent situation is. I think that will objectively drive me crazy. And so you might be like, Joe, doesn't Connecticut have a high income tax? It's like, but how much of my income do I lose if I actually go mad? Like, I don't know if I can.
I mean,
like,
how would we tell the difference?
This is a scenario, like, optimized to frustrate me. But, like, getting to sit on a ferry, and just, you know, and because
it's different.
Yeah, it's different. And, like, Sarah Sheffer says, I would want to move closer to prevent those flights. Yes. May Downing says, I used to travel unaccompanied every few months, and it was a nightmare. Sarah also points out the stress on the child is terrible. Yeah, that's the thing, is I am also terrified if this flight, like, gets if, like, you're only allowed to do it on non-stop flights. But, and so that also means I can't relocate easily to a city that's not easily within driving distance of my ex, or also has non-stop flights to the airport near her. And so my options for that are Baltimore, Orlando, Philadelphia, Tampa, basically. That's what the airports have non-stop flights to Long Island and Nashville. Right. And so, I don't know. There is a chance if I wait it out, if Southwest cancels its non-stop flights from BNA to MacArthur, then that might be okay. But I think they still have non-stop flights to other airports in New York and or around New York City, and my ex would probably just have my daughter go to those. So, like, I really really don't love the current situation.
No, I can imagine.
And I don't... Yeah.
Everybody in my chat's talking about American landmarks, and I'm just like, that's, yep.
Yep. And so...
I don't understand any of those places.
Yeah. Honestly, like, And you know what? Maybe the Scotland relocation thing doesn't work out. Maybe it's just a pipe dream. But like, I need some sort of like light at the end of this tunnel. That if I have to move somewhere I don't want to move for the next 10 years to avoid these flights, like that. Okay, the reward at the end is I've built some equity and I can move somewhere totally different with access to Europe and like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, you know, an ancestral link. We still have some family over there that we're not really close to, but you know, my mom could possibly get me in touch, and you know, stuff like that could be.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, you know.
I don't know. I need something, and.
I get it. I get you. I get you.
Yeah, I gotta figure out too. Like, honestly, I gotta figure out if there's a way that I can just like I don't need a full-time nanny. I'm happy taking care of my kid 99% of the time. But if I could hire somebody to do this airport thing for me, like I think that would actually like really help me emotionally, but I don't know that would be good for my kid. And so at the point where I'm looking at trade-offs like that, that's when I'm like, maybe I need to just sidestep the entire situation, right?
Yeah. That's definitely a...
Mahi Zero says, what about the Philly area? It isn't a terrible drive to New York. Well, because there's direct flights from Philly to MacArthur Airport, my ex would probably just insist on me putting her on the plane. So, I don't want to do that.
Is it just sort of like, I don't want to see you kind of thing?
What do you mean?
Like, would she insist on a plane journey for her not having to see you?
Well, no, okay, so here's the other thing. So, driving from Philadelphia to Long Island requires driving through New York City. So, you think about all the good things about being stuck in an airport for 4 hours, and then think about how fun it would be to be sitting in New York City traffic for hours.
I understand. Like, here's the thing.
I don't want to drive through New York City. And in theory, at that point, I could take a train, but like, the ferry boat option is like really nice because it's a boat. There's no ferry from Philadelphia. There's no boat from Philadelphia to Long Island. Yeah. So I don't know.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Like, at that point, the train might make sense, but still, you have to probably change trains in Penn Station to switch over to the Long Island Railroad. Long Island Railroad has 1 million stops, and it's famously slow. So, I mean, we'd be talking about 10 hours of round-trip travel versus the ferry is 75 minutes. And, you know, we could write the agreement such that my ex picks, or, like, a babysitter or somebody picks up our daughter on the other end of the ferry, right? So I don't even necessarily have to like get off I probably would have to get off the boat because like legally they want you to buy 2 tickets and whatever, but like or I might be taking a different boat back because another boat might be leaving in 10 minutes, but this boat has to refuel for an hour. But like I could get to the ferry terminal, look at the ocean some more, get on another boat and go immediately back. I don't even have to necessarily take my car to the ferry because the ferry is near enough the train station. Like, I could take a train to the ferry to Long Island, try to get the agreement written such that my ex or her agent, babysitter, whatever, picks up our daughter, go back, you know? And that seems a lot more doable and nice, and...
Yeah, it does seem a bit chiller, not gonna lie.
But, yeah, I mean, at that point, though, I am like, okay, what's along the train line to the ferry in Connecticut? And, you know, and once again, even with the income tax, Nashville is so expensive. We're talking about moving from like a major cultural city to, well, I could take a train into New York, but it would be,
yeah,
this would not be urban living. This would be rural Connecticut type thing. On the plus side, though, even quote-unquote, like, rural Connecticut, like, has Lyft service. Because one of my big things I'm worried about is if my car breaks down, how screwed am I? Because my car is from 2008. Okay. I am not getting a lot of drawing done.
You're not. But that's okay. Sometimes art isn't about the drawing.
Eloquent or Not says, I missed something. Why is it a legal requirement for the 9-year-old to not be accompanied on the plane? No, it's I have to allow her to take unaccompanied minor flights. I could technically fly with her if I wanted, but
if you had the money.
But I would have to pay I would have to pay for the ticket, and then what would I do when I got there? And then I had to pay to fly back. Like, yeah. So when we originally agreed to these 3-day weekends, I thought my ex would fly to Nashville and like stay in a hotel and hang out with my daughter here. And that's not her expectation. Her expectation is daughter goes there. So, yay. Yeah,
that seems really onerous, putting the travel on the child.
It's super onerous. I'm really upset about it. That's one of the reasons, like, I'm not trying to move closer to my ex to make things easier for my ex. I'm trying to make things easier on my daughter and myself. Joy to Bake says, don't underestimate the importance of stability for your daughter. If you move, what you need to change schools. Yeah, that's one of the reasons that I'm trying to only move once. I don't want to move somewhere cheap, save money, and then use that money to move somewhere expensive. But the problem is where we live right now is kind of expensive because Nashville rent is going insanely high. And so, yeah. Madame Carotte says, are you expected to pay her flight each time? No. Fortunately, the cost of the flights is on my ex, but the cost of how much time am I losing in the airport? You know, how much mental, like if it takes me the whole weekend to recover from being stressed off about dropping her off, like right now when my daughter goes away, I try to work as much as possible during that time. That's why I've been doing these long Civ streams and stuff like that. Normally I would have been doing like marathon Hermitcraft streams, not marathon, but like long Hermitcraft streams, and I can't do those right now, which is infuriating. I really want, like, I feel like I was saying to Cleo earlier, I feel like I was furloughed from my job right when my expenses are going up and my daughter isn't here. So it's not even, you know, the argument was like, oh, we can use this time to spend with our families. It's like my family is gone. I want to be working during this time so when my family comes back, I can go have fun. Like, it's, I don't know, I'm fine.
Joe's fine, everybody.
I'm gonna do something artistic. I'm gonna do something artistic now because this is I'm not drawing right now. I'm just sitting being.
Joe, you know when we discussed this earlier, and I said maybe not, maybe we don't have to discuss it on stream.
Yeah, maybe.
And you said it's good for you, and this is sort of like, is this good for you, Joe?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm.
Joe made a very good point to me earlier and said, we're not lifestyle influencers. We can be realistic and tell people what's going on in our lives.
Or we should be realistic. Not we can be, but like if a brand wants to pay me to pretend my life is perfect so I can take pictures with their products, well then I wouldn't have 90% of these problems anyway. You want to give me $10,000 a month to promote your, I don't know, shawls? What do influencers sell? I don't know, but like
shawls.
Yeah, no.
What do influencers sell? And you settled on shawls.
I don't know what people sell with influence. I'm not an influencer, but my point is, all of the problems I'm complaining about, I legitimately wouldn't have if I had ludicrous amounts of money. That's the other thing too. Is in the back of my head, I'm just like, if I just made 3 times as much money on YouTube, all of this would go away. Like, I mean, like, or not all of it, but, like, then I could afford to just live, like, in, like, a good place near my ex, rather than, like, because, like I said, I don't want to move my daughter twice. I don't want to keep changing her schools, so it's going to be, we're going to be stuck for a decade in whatever I can afford in 16 months. And, and I'm like, but, like, I wouldn't even have to wait 16 months if, like, I was just more talented and successful, and... like, I'm not. So, you know, we'll see how that goes.
If only I was more talented and successful.
Right? Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah. Yeah, moving for your own safety corps is a good idea. It's a good idea. Partly why I want to move out of the UK is because I don't like how things are going, so...
Yeah.
which is fine. Kitty, no. No. My mouse, not your mouse.
You know who I didn't really do anything with this season is Vintage Beef.
Oh, I did a little thing with Beef. He's really fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed last season. He had like that thing. He had a yard sale. I feel like part of my problem is that I only do stuff with people when they have a thing. I need to make the.
You need to do a thing. You need to say, I need 3 people to do X.
Yeah.
There is a knife up here, Kitty. I will put the knife like away for a minute, and then you can come up.
But like, yeah, I need to be more aggressive about like creating opportunities. Exactly, and I don't. I'm so used to not being able to follow through on things because of my unreliable schedule with work that like I'm not in a good place mentally to like plan stuff like that now. I feel like so what stuff have you done that's been successful along those lines? The head games was I think a great example.
The head games was great. Mostly though I haven't been doing stuff with XB, decorating XB stuff, and when I was with Corrales, decorating Corrales' stuff. So the base swap was great for me.
Yeah, the base swap. I can't understand why everybody else swapped back so fast. I still
no.
I don't know.
I don't understand why everyone else swapped back so far. I mean, like me and Corrales decided we were just going to share bases.
Yeah. I only swapped back when we came up with that Ever Given thing. When the Ever Given got stuck, and I was like, okay, I can't build this at XB's base. My base is where the Strait of Gibraltar is. Oh, hey, thank you, Arena Snow, for the for the 3 who says, just keep breathing. This too shall pass. That puts us 12 away from the next face camera expansion, assuming I can hold this in front of the camera properly.
Shadow Knight Dark subscribed. Welcome to the Horde. If you look to your left and to your right, you'll see there are no exits. And Strange Tonic also subscribed with Prime. I'm so very sorry to both of you. Thank you very much indeed, though. Kitty has just decided that this is where she lives now. You just lying down? She's just lying down. Nope, she's off.
Dark Pixie says roommates could be an option to cut costs since you can work anywhere. Well, here's the thing about roommates. If you're a live streamer, you people hate not being able to make noise whenever they want, for one thing. For a second thing, in a custody situation, any possible flaws about that roommate could be I could be dragged into court and spend 10 grand defending, oh, this person doesn't drink that much. Like you know, and that's the thing, is it's like my attorney, like I went through like the list of people I know that I could live with. The only one he's like, oh yeah, this will probably be fine, is one of my friends who is a woman and a medical doctor specializing in psychiatry. My friend who's a pharmacist but a man, it's like, ooh, no, living with another unrelated man, it creates all sorts of problems with a female child in custody cases. You don't want any appearance of impropriety there, like, because that's the thing, is even the appearance of anything weird can get me tied up in court, and then I'm spending tens of thousands of dollars on that instead of saving money on rent. Like,
yeah.
So yeah, that's
no, that's a no. HCBBS. Well, some people may have seemed like they weren't ready to let go of their base, but you know, it's a case of we do things. Most of the time, we know what's coming. You know, at least we know something about what's coming. So the swapping back and forth is, you know, a couple of weeks is fine, you know. But me and Corrales had a lot of fun. Is what we're saying, is what I'm saying, you know. And Joe had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I built a huge building.
Doing stuff in other people's bases, which is where you have Another hype train. Dev Constructor resubscribed for 10 months. What is this? What's ZombieCleo working on? Assume she's answered that 400 times. Thank you. This is a cutout of a koala. So, yeah, here's the thing. When you sign up for something, you know it's going to be content, if nothing else. Even if you just... And none of us are like, you must stay here forever. Yeah?
Yeah.
So we always know that whatever happens, we can always,
I thought there was going to be a lot of more cross-swapping. I thought, like, oh, hey, Mumbo and Scar traded bases. Now Scar's going to trade Mumbo's base for Beef space, and Etho will trade with Cub, or, you know what I mean? Like, I thought there was going to be more stuff like that. Joy to Bake says, how certain are you that your ex is going to stay where she's at? That's another major question mark here, is she has claimed from the beginning she was staying there forever, basically, but she didn't get a job. She was still working remotely for a company in Nashville, or for a university in Nashville, until fairly recently. And so it's one of those things, like, if you don't have a job there and you get a job offer in Seattle, are you just going to move to Seattle? And here's what would annoy me about that, is I would rather live in Seattle. I want her to move and take a job in a better place to live, because Long Island, one of the big problems there too is there's no jobs for me to fall back on if this blows up.
Yeah.
Like I would literally just be...
Thank you for the biddies, Paleo.
Like, okay, I can burn through my retirement savings and maybe eke out 3 to 4 months from that, and maybe try and get some freelance work, and then I guess I move in with my parents. But the thing is, moving my daughter interstate would trigger another relocation case which a judge could block, and then it's like, okay, I'm required by law to stay in the state I'm in, but I lost my job and can't afford it. So like that creates a nightmare situation too. Like,
yeah. I think there's a update.
So other things that Beef's done was, we had a shopping thing where he bought a shop I owned at one point. He does a lot of those crazy pixel art.
The maps.
Yeah, maybe I should ask him if he wants help with a pixel art map, because there's a lot of like just filling in big spaces there.
The pixel art maps are amazing. I mean, I would like to do, like, for my shop, I would also like to do maps, like, of the things that I'm sort of talking about that could be put on the wall.
Yeah.
So, it's one of those things. I mean, since doing the Hive Drake map, it's I really enjoyed doing that. It just took a lot. Thank you, Deb, for the biddies. That's really nice of you. Thank you.
I mean, Cleo, was there a particular reason that you did not, like, ask me to come do the Hive Drake map with you on stream or something?
Because I was doing it mindlessly.
Okay.
And it was a case of, oh Jesus! Thank you for the 10 community gift subs, Shifty Pumpkin. And mostly because when I think I've got to do something, I just tune out and watch stuff and do it if I'm doing something like that. So it's one of the ways that I chill out. So
Yeah. Well, but like, okay, so how many hours would you say that doing the whole map took?
About, considering I only did the middle third, really, probably about 10 hours.
Wait, what do you mean you only did the middle third?
Oh, following the pattern, I only did like the middle of the pattern.
So the rest of it was all white or something, though?
The rest of it was all white. So
but you still had to spend time making it all white, didn't you? Or did you go something?
Yeah, but that didn't take very long, relatively speaking. The bit that took the time was following the pattern. Ugly Dodo, Cheetah Biddy, thank you very, very much indeed.
Yeah, because I guess what I'm saying is, though, out of that 10 hours, let's say that I came and, like, let's say that you still wanted to have 6 hours of hanging out and watching TV or whatever. but for 2 hours I came and like hung out with you. We cut it down for our episodes to have a few jokes or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I could have done that, but I just didn't think about it, to be honest.
Well, I guess that's what my point, though, is like we should kind of be like, if we're brainstorming how to do the next season better, that's the sort of thing we should be thinking about.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it hadn't occurred, honestly, it hadn't occurred to me to ask somebody to help me if I did a pixel map. I just did it myself last time, too. And...
That's the thing, isn't it? It's, like, we should probably be
asking every time we do anything.
Okay, if we're going to be doing pixel maps, we need to get a sheep farm before we do anything.
Okay.
Because
wool,
different colored wool.
Is different colored wool the best for the pixel art, or?
I mean,
it's a carpet.
It's not necessarily. It's a resource that goes on very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, Joe!
What?
They hit the OO button.
That's fine. You can all you like. I'm maybe. I don't have a button for that.
Joe. I wish you did have a button for that. Joe doing the OO voice is so fun.
You know what I'll do for you though? Whoa.
Tell me, Joe.
I'm gonna, if you look at my thing, let me find another O in here.
Hello, kitty. How are you? Please stop poking me. Oh, hi, Cleo.
Yeah, I don't know if I have another O. Oh, here it is.
Oh, no. They finished the serious portion, so this is the time that you decided to do this. It would have been quite funny, though, if you had old elsewhere. Oh, no. Bye, Push. Sorry.
Okay. Kindlelist says concrete powder is the best for art if you plan on replacing the maps frequently. Well, I guess that... Why is that?
I don't think we would be, though.
Yeah,
it would be a thing that would be there. Because we'd be selling them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Kitty, that is so pathetic, and I love it. She had her chin on the table just staring at me.
Aww.
Like a little baby kitty.
Yeah. So, one of the big pixel art projects I'm doing for the season isn't actually pixel art in the... or one of the big map things that I have planned for this season is that my mega base is going to be, from the top down, renderable as 2 pixel art maps, if that makes sense.
Oh.
And it's going to be, so my mega base is going to be a 3-dimensional pinball machine, but from the top down with the map thing, you could put 2 maps in what do they call those? In item frames on on the table, and it would look like a pinball machine in game.
That is true. That is a thing that it would be.
So, you can use water to clear concrete powder? I don't think that's true. I think it turns it into concrete.
It's really funny when people mix work. This is our job.
Yeah, we're not going to sell NFTs. We saw how well Evil X's stuff went this season.
No NFTs here.
I just couldn't figure out a way to hook into that story. Like, I had the Diamond Hose angle, but, I just couldn't make it work. I don't know.
No. I just bought stuff because,
Yeah. People are saying you can clear carpets with water. Gosh.
You can clear carpets with water, yes. Well,
I mean, one thing I have always enjoyed in Minecraft is running a sheep farm and shearing the sheep. But my idea of a sheep farm is to find an island and fill it with colored sheep and then just run around with shears.
I hate that because it's just all
That's what I love is that it's all Hey, Quest, thank you for the 5, who says, "Hey, Joe, I'm watching both perspectives of the streams, but your audio quality is worse on Cleo's stream. It's bearable, though, so maybe you want to look into that after the stream." Well, that sounds like something Cleo needs to look into on her end, because sending through Discord, Cleo, if I sound okay to you, maybe
You do.
Am I clipping on your OBS when I talk? Is it going into the red there on the desktop audio?
Oh, it really is.
Yeah, that's something you need to fix. I can't fix that.
I just turn you down a little bit.
Yay, am I still clipping? Please tell me if I'm still clipping.
You are in the yellow and the green, so you should be fine.
Thank you, Quest.
Yay.
That's not something to look into after the stream. That's something to fix immediately.
I fixed it! Yay!
Yay. Cub Season 7 Hermit and Herald setup is the best setup for maps in Highborn Link's opinion. Was that with dispensers that would clear the water or something?
Yes, it was. Yeah. And I feel really bad because I completely failed on that.
Yeah.
But it's Cub's great.
Yeah.
Cub keeps things going when Cleo doesn't.
Mm-hmm. I think Cub and you are the two people. You, Cub, Cleo. Sorry, you are Cleo. You, Cub, Scar, Pearl, Isuma are the folks that I think I collabed with the most this season. Mm-hmm. And that went really well. And so, like, I'm not trying to necessarily go out of my way to do less with you, but, like, I keep coming up with ideas where I'm like, oh, this would be fun to do with Cleo, and I'm like, but maybe I could invite someone else to do that one.
Maybe someone else will help Joe.
Yeah, like, I keep coming up with ideas to do with Cub, and I'm like, some of these are redstone-y things that maybe I should try to invite somebody else to do with me.
You probably should. Maybe you can hire a person.
Yeah.
With all your wealth
I know.
On the server.
That's the thing, is I'm never wealthy on the server. Maybe just going in and being like, I'm going to go mine for diamonds, because if diamonds are legitimately harder to get this time.
Yeah, there will always be people that have more diamonds because they mine everything and sell everything.
So, maybe I go in. One thing that I don't know.
I can stop now. Okay, I can stop now. Yay.
I've been trying to avoid overcommitting to.
Sorry.
Okay, no, go on. Which part of that was fun?
No, it's just avoiding overcommitting. That is. I mean, I've seen you, Joe. You overcommit all the time.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. Is like I'm like Yeah.
Like anyone's got an idea. Oh, I can help with that.
I feel like I need to just maybe try to find a way to spend like 3 or 4 more hours a day playing Minecraft. I feel like that might help. But I don't... like, because I was just like, if I just spent more time mining and like, but then I'm like, but who's gonna vacuum? And like, it's one of those things like, well, Joe, just hire a maid to vacuum. I can't have somebody vacuuming while I'm streaming anyway. So like, so like, yeah, there's a lot of things where it's like, okay, how much, there's ways I could mess with things or adjust things. I don't know. Grr.
Hello, baby. How are you? Got the knife, leave the knife alone.
Yeah. Well, but it's like doing dishes and like laundry and stuff, and it's like, I mean, in theory, I could find ways to make some of this stuff easier. I mean, one way I'm saving time too now that my daughter's back in school is I'm not doing a hot breakfast every morning.
Oh God, no.
But like I was like making bacon and eggs every morning when she was doing remote school, just to, and like making bread and stuff sometimes too, because it's like, just, it was so miserable being stuck at home all the time. Like, you know, it's just like, here's something nice that we wouldn't be able to have if you were at school, you know? Sakara 10 says, do you really need to vacuum that much? It's not just vacuuming, though. It's, like, all the things. But, like, I've already cut down on, like, a lot of stuff now that she's back at school. But one of my big concerns was if the schools close again and she goes back to remote, and then, like, I don't want to be like, hey, y'all, guess what? We're doing a 4-hour Hermitcraft stream every morning. And then it's like, oh, nope, just kidding. I got to troubleshoot remote school stuff all the time again. Yeah. Like...
I mean, streaming is one of those things that I'm trying to do more of. Yeah. One, because I've got some time before Hermitcraft starts up again.
Yeah.
And two, because it's just really nice to just hang out with people. Because, since quitting my job, hanging out with people has been less. And I'm really glad of it, I'll be honest. Because I was never happy with the amount of socializing I was having to do. So now I get to do less.
Yeah.
Editing is why you stop YouTube. Like, editing is...
Oh, that's true. Editing is one of the... That's the big problem, too, with having, like, a stream schedule during the day, is that's a lot of times when I end up doing my editing. And so, one of the biggest things I had trouble finding time to do was edit. Because in my old kitchen, I would do all my editing while I was... Or not all, but a lot of my editing while I was cooking. But my new kitchen is too tiny to have anywhere to put a laptop safely. And so I would be, like, reviewing the footage and marking, like, this is a clip to use, this is a clip, like, I would have to sit down at a couch or a desk or something to do the final pass, but, like, I could do a lot of the preliminary editing steps while I was distracted making food. And I can't do that anymore. And that kind of killed a lot of my editing momentum after the move.
Yeah, editing is, like, if you have done an hour of footage, conservative amount, you need to do an hour and a half of editing. Effectively, because you need to watch that footage, you need to do all the bits that need doing to it, and then make sure it's cohesive with everything else you've done.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons I think I'm going to try and do more shorter episodes this season, so that I don't have to worry about cohesiveness as much. Because I worried too much about cohesiveness last season, and I was like, I don't know how to... And I ended up throwing out a bunch of footage because I was like, oh, there's not a good through line on this. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. I mean, I found that when I'm recording, if I'm keeping in mind a narrative, then not everything has to be about the narrative, but it helps me when I'm recording. So it's just sort of like, okay, how is this going to play into the narrative? Well, it's not. This is a person that's just turned up, so I will work it in, but then I need to go back to the narrative.
Yeah.
Does it make it easier when watching stuff back in 2 times? No. You miss comedic timing when you get 2 times speed.
Yeah, no, that's the thing is I need to figure out where the awkward bits are, and you can't find the awkward bits if you're speeding past them.
Yeah.
Somebody says, it surprises me your kid can't troubleshoot the tech stuff herself. Kids generally know how to do lots of tech things. Well, the problem is Microsoft Teams that they use for the school is constantly changing where features are, hiding things, moving stuff around. So, like, the teacher sometimes will be having problems with her tech, and my kid can't tell if it's something on her end or the teacher's end. Like, yeah.
I would have thought they got that... We had that troubleshot in, a month.
Like, my kid can fix certain things that go wrong, but a lot of stuff goes wrong that she can't tell what's going wrong. And sometimes the answer is just the school district broke something, but she doesn't know how to prove that, Sarah says, I wouldn't mind shorter videos if they came out more often. Well, that's the thing, is, like, I was trying to shoot for, like, a 5 to 7 day tempo last season, and I was ending up with a 9 to 11 day tempo. And that's just, was too slow. That was not where I needed to be, and it was frustrating the whole season, and I just couldn't catch up. And that's one of the reasons I'm doing so much advanced planning this season with, like, structures and things, so I can feel like I have a chance to catch up.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, I'm not doing planning, but I'm pretty good at riffing because of being a teacher.
Yeah.
You riff on a subject for, like, I can riff on a subject for hours if you let me go.
Yeah.
So, I don't ever have that moment of, like, I can't record this because, I don't have anything planned. So,
Well, so my problem was I kept starting things where I would record the beginning of the episode and say, this episode we're going to accomplish this. And whatever this was, like, with the castle, I'd say, this episode we're going to work on this part of the castle. And then I would end up redoing that part of the castle 5 times. And it wasn't that I didn't have anything to say, it's that I didn't want to have every episode say, I'm going to accomplish blank, and then I do a third of it. And then...
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't have every episode be just me riffing about working on the same part of the building. And
Well, I've decided to go smaller this year, so that I can do small projects and I can do more armor stand stuff because I've not.
Well, and that's what I'm trying to do with this planning thing, is I'm trying to think of what are small early game projects I can do. What are ways that I can make an exploration episode feel good and feel like I accomplished something. So the nice thing about an exploration episode is if I walk around talking for 20 minutes, that's a 20-minute episode. If I really want to, I can edit it down to 15 and make it seem way funnier. And I have an episode. But, like, if it's me moving the same wall in the house 25 times while talking for 20 minutes, that's not a good episode. And so I'm trying to figure out, where do the walls in the house go? You know, ahead of time this time. So that's what I'm trying to figure out.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. You might want to be a teacher in the future. Teaching is changing a lot at the moment, so you need to be very careful. No, go away.
Yeah.
Go away. No. She's being a butt. She's being a butt. I am also tired, Joe.
Sorry. Just a reminder that we are 7 away from the next face camera expansion. There's nothing like stretching out to wake you up. Sarah Schreffler says, Joe would make an excellent teacher. There are a lot of jobs like that I thought I wanted to do when I was young. And everyone's like, no, you won't make any money. You'll be broke and miserable all the time. And it's like, well, so then I ended up taking jobs where I made more money than teachers, but I still was constantly in situations where it's like, well, I had to pay off like $40,000 of student debt, and I have all these other problems, and it's like with the expensive divorce and custody things, and it's like, well, I see why people would be like, it would suck to not have money all the time, but like, maybe I should have gone with
money.
But I still don't have money all the time, and maybe I should have gone with the profession I actually was more interested in the first place. Like, yeah. Like,
if you create something big, you need big progress on it for it to seem significant. With small projects, the progress is easier to see. That is something that I need to remember.
Yeah. I want to be able to show progress every episode. I want the episode to feel like things are being accomplished while I'm talking and while I'm hanging out. So what are good things to collab with ZF about, viewers? Because people always tell me, Joe, you should do more with ZF. But
I mean, ZF is the person, he's not really he asks you to collab. He's not really the sort of person that...
Well, I mean, I'm sure he would appreciate being asked sometimes.
I mean, yeah.
So, like, if I'm going to go to him and ask...
Because of his schedule, it's difficult to...
Gotcha.
You know, to arrange. I think I've only ever done one thing with ZF.
Yeah, I toured his lab early this season. That was, I think, the only thing I've ever done with him other than, like, a big group recording. He does goofy small things. See, that's the thing, is goofy small things make good episodes. So,
yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know.
ZF is a tricky one to get into a collab mindset with, unless he's built something specifically for you.
Yeah, for collabing.
Well,
okay.
Be right back. I've got.
Yeah, no rush. If I want a Rube Goldberg machine in Minecraft, go to ZF. Okay. So the problem is ZF and I usually aren't on at the same time. Chickens Go Cluck says, I like the proximity mod because it makes spontaneous collabs better and easier. The thing is that because Zed and I have such opposite schedules, I need to go out of my way to message him on Discord in advance and say, hey, ZF, I want to work with you on something, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Sorry, I'm back.
Yeah. Because that's I think one of the reasons Cub and Scar and I do so much stuff together is because they're just online when I'm streaming. Right? And so they can just turn on my stream, see what I'm doing, and decide if they want to come over and bother me. No, I'm serious.
Oh, no, I know you're serious.
But, like, ZF and I are never online at the same time unless we plan it. And so I really, like, I feel like I want to go out of my way to connect with the people that aren't online at the same time as me. But I need a proposal or a suggestion. I can't just be like, hey, Zed, we should hang out. Because he'd be like, oh, yeah, man, totally. Let's hang out. And then nothing could happen, right?
Yeah.
Like,
you need a specific thing, yeah.
I need a specific thing.
You need him to make a silly contraption, is what you need.
Yeah.
I need something that launches me 500 blocks that way and then drops an anvil on my head. That's what you need from ZF.
Yeah. Do I have an idea for a minigame? The only idea for a minigame I have right now is the whack-a-mole minigame. And I was thinking that to differentiate my whack-a-mole minigame from Cub's, I would maybe want to have mine on a balcony shooting down. And so...
the collab was just the misunderstanding of Cleo's bodybuilding and Corrales this season. Yeah, that was funny. Because that was a genuine misunderstanding.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. The Corrales says, I need to get in shape because I'm doing things. And I'm like, that's not what that meant. But sure, we'll do it anyway. Because, yeah. You'd have thought of all people, Corrales would have got that joke.
Yeah.
Because of how much time I've spent doing armor stand stuff. But the amount of people that didn't get that joke until it was pointed out astounds me.
We could have had the flower farm revamped by Zed this season. That's true. We didn't even use all our IOUs.
No, I've taken the IOUs with me.
Oh, are they going to be in your animations?
Oh no! I'm taking the IOUs with me.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is, the IOUs you took, if you're bridging the 2 seasons, you should have you like looking at them in your animations.
Oh, I should probably have them on. Actually, no, I can actually show them on the table. So.
Yeah, there's a way to do it, and I mean, you could probably
there is a way.
You could probably draw on top of them. like you render it in your animation suite, and then you load it up in Final Cut or whatever Premiere, and then you just put text, over it, like that says IOU love Jevin or whatever.
Yeah. I totally could.
Okay.
The new Friends animation thing was heartwarming. Oh, thank you.
So, in order to build the whack-a-mole game, I think so. I need a score counter. I need a pop-up randomizer. I need a start-stop function. Difficulty switch. / timer.
See, you're saying these things and I'm like, yep, that sounds like a thing you need. I have no idea. The thing is, I don't think Redstone, if I really wanted to learn it, I don't think it would be that difficult. Because, I've done electronics.
Well, the reason that I didn't do a lot of Redstone in my episodes is because my day job was programming, and it used the same parts of my brain as my day job, and those parts of my brain were tired. I'm good at those parts of my brain, or it wouldn't have been my day job. But I just don't know enough. I haven't learned all the specifics of how Redstone circuits work, but I have no doubt that I could figure it out.
It's just not something that, for the same reason, it's like it's not something that particularly interests me after teaching physics and electronics.
Yeah.
It's like slime block launchers flinging hermits at target blocks. Inverted whack-a-mole. That's an that's a thing. Never tried to learn redstone. It basically feels like dark magic to me. The thing is, like, when people are talking about things and this is how you make an and/or gate, and I'm like, I actually know what that means. I could do this if I really wanted to. I just don't really want to.
No.
I'm quite happy just following basic tutorials for it and just forgetting everything about it afterwards.
Yeah.
Impulse has old videos that teach well. Did not know that.
Impulse has what as well?
Impulse has basic redstone tutorials, apparently.
Gotcha.
You doing okay, Joe?
Yeah, no, I just came up with a really obnoxious idea.
Ah.
And it's so obnoxious. I'm worried that I shouldn't share it for two reasons. One, because it's very easily done, which means that somebody else could go use it to be obnoxious. And two, because it's very easily done, which means I could actually go use it to be obnoxious. Whoa, Pearlescent Moon raiding with a party of 561. Welcome, potato partiers. My name is Joe Hills. I'm broadcasting live from Nashville, Tennessee. I'm here with my friend ZombieCleo. But
Hi.
yeah, we're doing an arts and crafts stream. I'm kind of doing some brainstorming about hermit crafty stuff. Sometimes we draw stuff. Here's some Pokemon I drew for Christmas. There's a Mimichu. Oh, here's Impulse, Zed, and Tango giving a high five. Anyway, right now I'm trying to doing some next season brainstorming, doing some pixel art of the hermits, and thinking about what could go here. Sometimes we do other stuff, like I made this magnetic pixel art Christmas tree, or we paint things sometimes, like I painted a bunch of miniatures on previous craft streams. So if you like craft streams, Cleo is in the lower left making a koala there with a carving thing. Cleo and I hang out every Wednesday morning and do arts and crafts. So thank you, Pearl, for that fantastic raid.
Thanks, Pearl.
Yeah, we are just hanging out, having a good time here.
He's chilling.
Just chilling. I should probably draw Pearl next. I was trying to figure out what would be a good collab with you, Pearl. And I was thinking, I'm designing right now for the next season kind of a redstone whack-a-mole game. Maybe I could hire you in game to design like a shell for the the outer structure. What I would probably do is just like initially make it like just fenced in, and then like invite you or somebody else if you didn't want to do it to like build like a giant mole or a hammer or something creative that would look good and be on theme. Dang it.
Still got Pearl's IOU, just saying.
Yeah, Cleo still has your IOU apparently. So let's see.
Taking it with me. It's
Could
fine.
be interesting if we get a couple folks involved in the build. Yeah, that'd be great. Also, Cleo and I are looking at building an HHH supply depot at Respawn. What? What are you laughing about?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
So Cleo's laughing maniacally for no apparent reason, which is always a good sign.
No reason.
Always a great sign. Okay, so we want to open image a new window. Okay, so Pearlescent Moon's skin. Wow, there's a lot of brown here, and I don't have a great brown color pencil. So that's going to be a whole thing. Oh, that's neat that your hair actually frames your face with the skin. Okay, so Yeah, unfortunately, the brown on this is burnt umber. This is like a pack of 12 color pencils, and so it's not super high, what do you call it?
Contrast?
Versatility, maybe? So, let's see. Pearl's hair definitely is... 1, 2... Your hair is hard to do. This is pixel art. I'm trying to just copy it, and I'm having a hard time. But it kind of comes down a little bit here.
That's how you know it's an impressive skin.
Yeah,
Can't just copy it.
Yeah. Well, the problem is it's got like an extra layer of hair in front of it, right?
Mhm.
So, trying to just get the rough layout of it is even.
Yeah. I am debating increasing the amount of points for the OWO. If I get it twice in a stream, the price is going up, just so you all know.
And then it looks like, so it goes 7 and then over 1. You know, without context, it kind of looks like cool mutton chops, which is awesome. Mix it with red to show it better. Yeah, the red, a little bit of red or orange would definitely make it feel more brown as I throw all the pencils.
Yeah, don't throw all the pencils, just only some of them.
One.
Okay, just one. One is acceptable.
Throwing one. Yeah, the brown is just too black. I was thinking about getting a more expanded color pencil set, but I was like, oh, do I really use these enough? Like, but now that I'm trying to draw the hermit's hair, I'm frequently running into problems because a lot of hermits have brownish hair, and so that's like a whole thing. But yeah. So your eyes are really low on your skin, actually, compared to a lot of people's. Because you don't really have a mouth, I guess.
I know. I think you'll find that most of female skins have that property. My one has that property as well. A lot of female skins have lower eyes.
Gotcha. So I was actually thinking about reworking my skin, but that's one of the reasons that I'm actually drawing everybody's faces for this, is to kind of give myself a little bit of kind of like get a broad overview of how everybody's approaching this.
Are we going to get a new Joe? Is this what you're telling me?
I mean, I've been, well, like at the point where I'm looking at redesigning all my clothes and stuff. Like maybe I should... Wow, this does not look like Pearl at all. I have completely botched this. Oh, okay. For one thing, because this should be white right here. This is the like most terrible, like, let me do your portrait ever. It's like, oh my gosh. I'm sorry, Pearl. I am so sorry. This is embarrassingly bad. And I'm not going to pretend that you need to be proud. You don't need to pretend you like this. This is terrible. This is objectively not very well done, and I am sorry.
I'm gonna give you you know me. I don't really worry about being objective. It's fine.
It doesn't feel fine. It feels pretty terrible. Okay. Darken these eyes a little bit here.
The obvious conclusion is that women don't have mouths. I mean, I wouldn't say that.
Boy, the mouth on this one.
We don't have visible mouths, is what we're saying.
Invisible voice. The lower eyes accommodate the more stylish hair. Yeah, I feel like I didn't do a great job of capturing the hair. The problem is with the brown, if you press down on it too hard, it ends up looking very... Yeah, let's see if we try and... Yeah, so if we press down on the tan, it kind of gets darker as the brown. This is actually maybe kind of coming around now. What do you think, Cleo? Objectively, you probably think this is terrible. But that's okay, because it...
I think it's worse than it was before.
It's worse than it was before? Oh, no.
The other one was alright. This one is just like, what's going on?
And then we can darken the eyebrows some.
Like I say, I'm not worried about being objective.
Thanks, Cleo. Yeah, okay.
Subjectively, I preferred it before.
Subjectively, it was better before I screwed it up. I got it. Thanks, Cleo.
Just here to help, Joe.
Pearlescent Moon says visible mouths are overrated. Withervane says draw me like one of your pixel girls. I still haven't seen Titanic.
I really wouldn't bother. It's not the best movie in the world. It's all right.
That's true.
I mean, I think they did do a Titanic 2 at some point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, okay. And I don't understand why.
Maybe to see what happens next. Yeah. So calling Pearl for Redstone game building help would be a good collab.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so calling Mumbo for Redstone, B-dubs for texturing, Falls for minigames and pranks. I think pixel art collab is the best thing for Vintage Beef here.
Yeah.
We had, for ZF, everybody's like, you don't call him, he calls you. So...
Yeah.
So thanks, guys. That was a great brainstorming on ZF. Yeah, nobody invites ZF to collab. Like...
Now we need to evolve.
See, that makes me think we have to, right?
We have to now that you've said it like that.
Right?
ZF's gonna hate it.
Yeah, ZF doesn't want to be invited to collabs is what I'm hearing, but I don't actually know if that's true. I don't know.
I mean, what's the worst you can say? No.
Yeah, but like really sarcastically.
ZF's not really sarcastic though.
Oh, okay. Maybe I just don't understand his intonation. If you put blue or brown back over the hair, you might be more happy with it.
Oh, all right. Let's watch chat's interpretation of what Joe needs to do.
I think if I add blue to this hair, it's going to be worse. People are like, ZF only does quirky, unconventional stuff. Okay, so, like...
Have you met Joe, by any chance?
So I'm just...
Any of you?
So I'm just going to put weird stuff. Okay.
That's a request, isn't it? Hey, ZF, would you like to come and do some weird stuff with me?
Yeah, like...
To be fair, though, I'd be all over that.
Yeah.
You want to do some weird stuff with me? Yeah.
Maybe I could
Sounds like my ideal coder.
Do you think that he would like to, like, play test a mini-game and do, like, feedback? So, like, when I'm working on the redstone for a mini-game. Because this is something that I've noticed, is a lot of times when people build a mini-game, they won't actually invite the other hermits over until it's finished, right? Maybe that's a collab opportunity. Because, like, in real life, when you build a game, you test it with your friends and stuff. And I think when people playtest mini-games on the server, like when Tango was testing Decked Out, they didn't record that. Like, maybe playtesting stuff on the server could be a collab opportunity, right?
I guess so.
And because it's like, okay, so we've got the skeleton, we've got the bare bones of the game in. It doesn't look good yet, but we've got like the scoring and the main mechanisms and stuff. Let's invite ZF over to give us some feedback so that if we have to make any significant changes, we can do that before we bring in somebody else to do like making it look cool, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay, so somebody says they streamed playtesting Decked Out, but they didn't. Did they make playtest episodes though? That's what I'm saying. Is this could be episode content. Tango and Zed have a lot of footage of them troubleshooting redstone. Okay, so ZF might be the person to call for this. So playtesting.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like it.
See, all we had to do was argue about this for 45 minutes. Playtesting redstone.
People clip this, send it to... Don't clip it and send it to ZF. That sounds obnoxious as hell.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, Tango would like that too. That's a good point. Okay. Yeah, Tango for playtesting. Why don't we get Tango on here? Let's see. Let's pull him up in name MC. You know, I feel like I don't do enough with Tango and Impulse, or at least I haven't the last seasons.
Yeah.
Tango Tech name MC. I don't need whoever Tango is.
I was really impressed with Tango, how he dealt with the fact that there was no one around at the end of the season for him, because he did that really well.
Mm-hmm.
I really felt for him because he just shot himself off into space.
Yeah. So he's got red eyes.
Did you not know that?
Oh, I know. Just What happened to Big Eyes Tango Tech? I thought he had a Big Eyes skin.
That was glasses. That was glasses.
Oh, his glasses, because it's not showing up in name MC. Okay.
No, it was glasses.
Okay.
It was an outside prop. Because he didn't like it, particularly from what I understand. It was just like, no, I've just got to fit in. Here's me fitting in.
Yeah, and somebody suggested bringing ZF, Impulse, and Tango in together to play test a game. Well, that's the thing, is if it's a two-player game, being like, hey, do you guys want to come and maybe take turns playing against each other? The third person can kind of observe and, like, you know, kind of give any pointers as well. Like, it might be easier in some, even though it's harder to schedule a 4-person collab than to schedule a 2-person collab, it might be easier to get ZF and Impulse and Tango to commit to something because they like hanging out together, and they don't always have their own project to work on together, you know? That kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and his hair is weird.
It's just what you want to hear.
Yeah.
His hair's weird.
It is weird. He's got like darker yellow and then lighter yellow. He's got a bunch of different yellows. Like, I'm gonna have to vary these yellows later with the orange, and I don't want to. I'm tired.
I'm tired. I don't want to do this.
I'm tired of coloring.
But
Can I watch TV now,
Cleo? It has been 3 hours, though.
No, that's true. Well, but at the same time, my actual art output this stream has been way lower. But the thing is, I had a bunch of stuff that I've been kicking around that I wanted to talk to you about. Because, like I said, I've been doing my season next brainstorming streams. And I just had a bunch of ideas. And I'm like, let me run some of these by Cleo before I, like, go in there and get too deep into them.
That's what I'm here for.
Sinking to Ball says, instead of inviting them for collaborations, would you want to volunteer to playtest their games or experiments? I do want to do that, but the thing is that
people have...
They might not have something that they want playtested, right? Like, I need to think of opportunities. I was telling Cleo earlier, and I know some of you guys just got here with the raid. Thank you again, Pearl, for that. I do a lot of collabs where somebody else built something and I show up there and collab with them around their thing. I want to do a good job of creating things for other people to come to in their videos. And so while going to their things and playtesting their things is a good opportunity for a collab, it's not necessarily me contributing at the level I want to contribute at more this season. That's kind of one of my goals for this upcoming season, is to do more stuff where people can come to me and get some cool footage, if that makes any sense.
I think I'm just going to go around and do armor stands in other people's bases for most of it.
Like, without permission?
Without permission, yeah.
That really overlaps with the I want to do more pranks this season. Because, like, I feel
I don't know
like...
if I consider it a prank, but if somebody makes a kitchen, I'm putting a chef in that kitchen.
Oh, you just sneak in and it's like, stealth chef.
Stealth chef, yeah.
I like it.
You know? Because, you know, I understand that if they don't want it, they can always go, take it away. And I'll go, okay.
Okay. I'm Cleo. I'll take it away if you insist. I don't wanna, but I will.
Armor stand graffiti is basically it. But, like, I can't imagine... There are very few people, unless they had, like, really big plans and I've just messed them up. I can't imagine... They'd be too fussed about it, to be honest. Because every time I do stuff for people, they're just like, oh my god, and then it's like, this is really nice. Hire me to do things you actually want. Here's a free sample.
Yeah.
See, that's my goal, is to armor stand prank everybody on the server at least once. Will I do a head games too this season? And it's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't really decided if that's the direction I want to take it, because if you're doing a second head games, you need a twist.
Well, so for we were getting a lot of raiders from Pearl Stream coming in who might not have seen the first head games. Could you give a quick elevator pitch for what was the head games Hermitcraft contest?
Okay, so the head games was basically you get points for heads, and I had a massive pile of diamonds. Like really, I like within 5 days, I had a massive pile of diamonds as prize, and you get points for different heads. So, for example, dragon heads were worth more points than Joe heads. Mm-hmm. That's not true. So, it was just you get the most heads, you win, and you could do it. But if people had opted into PvP, you could murder them for their head, because player heads were worth more than mob heads. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was basically it.
It gave people an excuse to PvP, which is fun. That actually triggered the Jevin killing me, hunting me on my stream sniping me thing.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of really good long-lasting stuff in that season that came out of the head game. I think maybe like the twist should be something like maybe you could also have a what if you had like multiple categories? So you had like PvP. You could have 3 separate prize pools: PvP, PvE, which would be like getting zombie heads or skeleton heads or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the third prize pool would be custom pixel art objects. But the rule would be you must design these yourself. You can't hire an artist to do it. So let's say that I wanted to make a jar of mayonnaise and put it on myself as a player head, kill myself, and submit that to the player head art contest thing, right? I couldn't just go to Space Dorito and say, Space Dorito, I need a jar of mayonnaise skin. Right? And so so it would be an actual like drawing contest for the hermits. That would be a cool twist.
That would be cool.
And it's enough of a thing though where we still have the core gameplay, but we broke PvP and PvE into separate prize pools, so that way people who don't PvP at all aren't at a huge disadvantage or whatever. And you could also... Oh, here's an idea, Cleo. Here's one of the ways you differentiate it.
There's another Canadian for the Mountie box. I've forgotten about the Mountie box.
You have 3 different judges who provide the prize pools for each thing. So you might say, I'm going to be the art contest judge, but the PvP contest judge will be Grian, because he loves PvP contests, and he can make the rules for exactly how the PvP works in the scoring. And the PvE contest judge can be Tango, because he loves farms and knows what would be fair. And so then you get a collab where you meet with Grian and Tango to plan this.
Yeah.
And then maybe Tango doesn't want to do it, and then you get Doc, who knows a lot about farms, instead. Or something. Like, I really just want to compete in the art contest. That's what I want, is I want to compete in this art contest really badly now, because I'm spending all my time doing pixel heads right now, and that would be really fun, right?
Right. Actually, that would be a really nice competition to do. Pixel art heads, so you get them in different categories. So, for example, flowers, food, player heads.
Yeah. So you could call them, you could do categories of things like... So in general, they would have to be things that are generally squarish in nature, I think, is the problem.
Yeah.
But, so you could have a cake contest where people try to design different cakes, because cakes are often that shape, right? You could have a canned or jarred preserved food contest where people try to make the best jars or cans of, like, pickles, mayonnaise, whatever. And then you could have... what would other be? What would be other good? You could also, you could have like a category. You could actually run different categories throughout the year. Hold on. So you could say in September, because people want to start decorating for Halloween. In September, we'll do a spooky contest, and then but then we'll sell them in October.
Yes.
Right.
I see where you're going.
You could, and so for Valentine's Day coming up, you could be like, we're gonna do cakes, because we're gonna do sweets, cakes, candies, cookies, anything like that. And then, the next month you could do something else. You could do flowers for spring and March.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, I see where you're going with this. I'm just trying to think about...
This is actually a cool... If you don't want to do this, I might do this. I'd really rather you did it, because I
definitely want to do this.
I want to compete. I don't want to judge, but...
Well, it ties in nicely with what I said I wanted to do, so...
Perry Daher says, "Oh boy, when Joe starts thinking of seasonal options, you know he's determined to see this through."
Joe will judge me for not running this away.
Well, but realistically, though, I love the idea that the decor in the season changes over time to match, what's going on in the real world, and like it's fun and it's cool. I don't know.
Yeah, I think yes. No, I see where you're going with this.
Like we could have like a summer drink competition where like I could imagine like trying to make like a coconut with a pina colada in it. Is there a way to make the umbrella look good in pixel art on the surface of a head? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe, there's options.
Yeah, I think it's something we need to probably discuss if anyone would be into it, because it's one of those things that's time outside of Hermitcraft rather than necessarily time inside Hermitcraft.
Yeah, but like it does let like a lot of us are artistic though, and it's an excuse for each of us to be artistic in a fun way that we normally don't get to in game, right?
Yeah. I get you.
I could see Beef jumping on this. I could see Pearl and Gem. Well, and the other thing too, though, is you still got the PvP or PvE options for the people that.
Yeah.
So this also gives you then cover to run the same PvP contest again, and with the exact same rules if you want, and you can go, we know this works, so I'm putting my creative energy.
I think this would be a different kind of head games rather than, the head games. Because I genuinely am looking at doing more, like, custom head stuff, because I found that custom heads will work better. If I've designed a head to go in a specific spot, I can make multiple copies of that head, and it will work forever kind of deal.
Yeah.
So yeah. Steal Scar's hat and Ransom back. Who says Scar will even have a hat?
Yeah, this is a new season. New season, new you. Are you Scar? Maybe. I feel kind of bad just saying Tango and Impulse would probably want to do the same kind of collabs. Like, but as I'm thinking about it, it's like, what if you had to just like, and this is not, I'm not putting you on the spot, Cleo. I'm saying to the chat, if you had to say, what are the sorts of things that Impulse would enjoy and Tango wouldn't for being invited to, or vice versa? Like, because that's the thing, is I'm trying to get better at matching invitations for projects to people. And I don't have time to watch everybody's episodes as much as you guys do. And so, like, what are the sorts of things that Impulse would appreciate that Tango wouldn't? Because I love the idea of inviting both of them to, like, playtest Redstone with me together. But, like, I know Impulse this season was doing the Chocolate Factory. He's doing more architectural stuff in that way. Although Tango was doing the big Toon Towers a couple seasons ago. Like, he's doing big architecture, too. Like,
I think the Hermits have become really good at branching out. I mean, look at us. Look at what we did this season.
Yeah.
We were very good at branching out, and I think everybody else is getting better at it as well.
I think you're right.
Yeah, Tango is all on board with the weird, silly stuff. If you can get silly stuff with Tango, you are golden.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to put silly under Tango. Which is funny because I always think of Tango as very serious. And I think part of that is usually when there's like a big group conversation, he only says anything if he has to.
He says very sensible things.
He steps in when no one else is the voice of reason.
Yes.
And that's very rare that no one else is the... I'm not saying that one person is always the voice of reason, but usually, eventually as a group, we kind of get to a sensible place eventually. But if we don't, that's when Tango steps in. So I don't think of him as silly because he never says anything frivolous in those contexts that I interact with him all the time in. But like the... You know... Like,
yeah, no, I get you.
So, unusual and wacky. Impulse is more traditional. Impulse doesn't like role-playing.
Like, Tango, you get him to do stuff. He will go full on the wacky. And he's very excitable, is what I found about Tango.
Tango always wants to do stuff with the, what do you call it, mod? The, proximity mod, but I'm never online at the same time as him. Like, and that's one of those things that's frustrating is like, and that's why I'm like, I need to fluctuate my recording times more. Because like, Tango's always just like, I don't want to plan stuff. I want people to come bother me. And it's like, I'm never around to bother him at the times he's on.
Yeah. I mean, that's my problem as well. I'm being British.
Yeah.
You know, Tango's on late. I'm like, you know.
It's funny because he's on too early for me. Because I think he's usually on in the time like between when my daughter comes home from school and when she goes to sleep. And that's the worst time for me to record or stream because I would rather spend time with her, right? So when she's at school, I can record and stream. And when she's asleep, I can record and stream. But like that window there is rougher. But like if it's like once a week and I'm going out of my way to shuffle the schedule, it'll be fine. So a lot of people are saying things like Tango would prefer sillier things. Tango would prefer more game design stuff. What kind of stuff instead of just like Impulse would like this less than Tango? What are the things that Impulse would like more than Tango? Aviva Kitty says Tango invites chaos. Impulse stumbles into it and goes with the flow. Gotcha.
That's 100% true. That is 100% true. You see, I'm doing this on more of a interacting with them on Last Life kind of deal. Impulse is a troublemaker.
Gotcha.
You know, Impulse likes playing both sides of a thing. Don't betray Tango.
People are saying Impulse is more competitive.
Yeah. Okay, he likes playing. It's jokey and silly, but he play both sides.
Yeah, well, but that's the sort of thing I need to keep in mind. Like, if I'm gonna, hey, I've got a competition. Well, and here's the other thing, Cleo, is let's say that you wanted to do a contest like the head game, right? What you could do is you could go to some of the other hermits and say, hey, I want to record a segment with you where I pitch the idea for this contest. And I ask you if like, let's say that Impulse had a steak shop, right? And you could say, do you want your steak shop to sponsor this contest? And like, you could pitch in toward the prize pool, free steaks for the whole season. And then even if Impulse says, no, that contest sounds way too cool, I want to be in it, and if I'm a sponsor, I can't compete, then you got like an early, like, back to the drawing board. Well, we can't do steaks as one of the prizes. Why don't we go see what so-and-so says? You know? But, like, but that kind of lets you show the process of... Because, like, I noticed a lot of times with contests on the server, nobody reasons through how they came up with it, right? They just, like, look, I'm launching this contest, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, showing you going to some people and kind of, like, trying to get community buy-in for the contest could be an interesting angle that isn't really done very much.
Tango's Ravager airdrop response to the Boatum crew is a good demonstration. Yeah, don't double cross Tango.
Yeah.
He is creative.
Impulse is more musical. He likes. Okay.
Impulse seems to lean towards its background. So if you've got a twist on an old movie inspiring a build or a musical reference, that's impulse. So if you're building something that's related to movies, for example, that might be something that is impulse.
Well, and so, another thing you could do in terms of like the note of impulse being competitive is you could invite 3 shop owners to come in and hear your pitch about this game you're planning, and then say, but there's only one title sponsorship slot. What would you bid to have this called the Impulse's Steak Shop mini headhunt or whatever versus the Tango Tech's Iron Emporium headhunt versus the Pearlescent Moon's Llama Rama headhunt, like that could be a fun collab.
That's good, Joe. That's good. Excuse me, I'm writing things down.
Yeah, I'm putting this. I'm gonna look for a sponsor for my whack-a-mole minigame. But like, this is why we're doing this. We're just talking through ideas because like, the big thing to remember about Cleo and I is because we were working full time until just recently, we haven't had a chance to really take advantage of being on a server with so many other creative people. Our schedules dictated when we could play, and we couldn't always schedule collabs as easily as other people could. And so we have to kind of get out of that mindset. And so we're just shaking things loose,
Yep. This is what we're here for. I mean, chatting to Joe is always entertaining, if nothing else. Okay. Put stuff in my notebook under video ideas. So everyone loves Star Wars. That will attract them. Scar would never leave. I mean, that's true. Okay. Oh. See you later.
A lot of people are saying Tango and Etho will choose fun over efficiency.
Oh, any day, yes.
Yeah. And like Etho is another one. It's hard to think of, like, if Etho has a big job, he doesn't mind saying, hey, does anybody want to come chop down a bunch of trees in the minigame district? Like, I can, or like sometimes when he builds a minigame, if it breaks, like I have a collab where it's like, hey, I think a bunch of my stuff fell into your minigame, and he flies over and helps me. But like, I never really had anything in season 8 where I could be like, hey, Etho, want to do something. Like,
Etho wants to cause trouble. That's what I've learned about Etho.
Yeah.
I might see what I can do.
Yeah.
To cause trouble with Etho.
Well, and definitely again, consider looping me in on prank stuff. Anything that requires like a ludicrous amount of manpower to do quickly. Like I can wake up at 2 a.m. my time. I can set an alarm and just like, well, because like a lot of pranks too, you have to do when nobody's awake, right?
That's true.
And it's like we got 15-minute window to do this before Mumbo wakes up. Or whatever.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, you're one of the first people I go to if I'm thinking about stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, if I'm doing a prank, it's usually a micro prank where it's just sort of like, I got to build this thing very quickly. And it's going to be like 4 or 5 blocks, and then I'm going to run.
Yeah. Well, I guess what I'm trying to figure out is, like, what could we do where we involve other people, not just each other, but like...
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I am going to take a quick hydration break, and I will be right back, Cleo.
Okay, that's fine, Joe.
Oops, that's the wrong camera.
You drink. You're allowed.
Yay.
Yeah, I'd be a very bad friend if I didn't allow him to drink occasionally. I'm actually almost finished this koala. This koala is a lot of work that I hadn't... Like, it was an hour last time, and it's been at least 3 hours this time, so... Oh, I shall also take a hydration break. Didn't you and Joe prank Impulse in season 6? I mean, only technically. We did build a whole thing about what a bad friend he was. I don't know if he's taken that personally or not, to be honest. And I did prank Doc once. Chess Nightmare resubscribe for a 6 months of Cleo. Woo! Does the koala get put on some colourful paper when done, or something? I mean, it's just a thing at this point. I'm doing this because I enjoy it, but I don't know. Koala is just here. I mean, lots of things I just make for the sake of making rather than to do anything with, which is, I guess, the point of some crafts. What did you do? What did I do to Doc? He got the Christmas prank. He got the TN tree. And then I made it really worse because I used arm stand baubles so he couldn't take the TN tree down without leaving the baubles there. It was the best thing I've ever done because I found it hilarious. Because he came to me, he goes, "You're playing with the bauble things on here." It was grand. I can't do anything without it. I need to leave it because it's nearly the end of the season. It was funny. Changing that one sign that one time was hugely impactful. I just changed a sign. It was...
What sign did you change?
Oh, the, everyone sit up straight. It was the sign with the prank sign that caused the prank war.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I changed one sign, and no one will let me forget it.
Okay, in fairness, when Grian adjusted my thing, I lobbed his base, so...
Yeah, you see, I didn't overreact.
Okay.
Koala would probably look good with light behind it. Maybe with... I mean, yeah, but then I have to get light behind it and get coloured film. You see what a bind I'm in? Leo's threat enjoys. No, I don't. That's at least one season out of date now. Come on. Joe has all his legs.
Yay. Excuse me.
Paste it to the window. Yeah, that's what you want to do in a rented apartment. Paste things to the windows.
Yeah, apartments love that.
Oh yeah. To be fair, my landlord doesn't care. I've not seen my landlord for like 13 years.
Mm-hmm.
So he just tells me, whatever you want to do to the house, do to the house. When you move out, I'm going to update it anyway.
I'm going to bulldoze the whole thing.
Oh, I'm sure my neighbours would be thrilled because they're attached. So.
Oh, nice. I thought you meant like, oh, they're really attached to the building, like emotionally. And then I was like, oh wait, no, it's probably a duplex.
Attached to the building. 13 years. Yeah, I've not seen my landlord in 13 years. I've seen people that he sends around to fix things when I say they need fixing. But yeah, he doesn't care. Mm-hmm. I'm really reliable and I pay my rent on time. Mm-hmm. I've been here 16 years now and it's like, I don't really want to sell my crafts particularly because I feel like that's a bit cheeky. And plus I don't want to have to send things anywhere.
Yeah, that's the big problem with that stuff is like if you try to ship it and it doesn't go well, then it's like, well, it was one of a kind, so do I make another one? Do I give them their money back? What if I only spent that money on a new freezer? Okay.
I've already spent enough money on new freezers.
Well, you could always use another.
No!
No, you can't.
I can't fit another one in.
Well, okay. So what I'm doing now is I'm trying to frame out. Okay, so the default Steve Minecraft face is kind of like this. And it's got some like tan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Are you planning a new look, Joe?
I am. Now that I've drawn everybody else, not everybody else, but like a lot of the other people, I'm like, okay, I'm ready now. To new year, new me, Cleo.
How many freezers do I have? 0 right now. I've lost everything, and I've lost all the food I put in there that I made the day before.
Okay. They have pearlescent frog lamps in the Bedrock beta. Is there a new Java beta today, or only Bedrock?
I don't know.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking, Cleo, is I want, maybe I have my hair come down over my shoulders. So, like on the actual shoulders and the skin and the back, have the hair actually, like, be the actual length it is. Like, down to my shoulder blades, roughly. So I keep the t-shirt, but the hair would be longer, and then I want to add the green glasses, and I'm not sure if that's even possible.
I mean,
because I feel like they'll be overwhelming.
They would be, but you can put them on the next layer.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out, though, is like, like, for example, because I can't necessarily, like, I might just have to have the tops of them or something.
Yeah.
Or have them, like, so, like, have them kind of go like this.
This is
maybe
why I have a skin artist that does. I say, could you make me X? And then they make me X.
So I feel like, well, maybe if I go like down like that, yeah, this could work, and maybe
that could work.
So I don't necessarily have like a nose piece here, but
you could do transparencies, because transparencies work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Semi-transparent.
Yeah.
So if I put the green here and here, I feel like that's going to be overwhelming. I feel like I need a gap there.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I think I would absolutely mess this up, but it looks super cool. I mean, to be fair, this is just a piece of paper with a printing on it. I mean, anyone could do this. I mean, unless you've got a condition that allows you not to do it, then I'm sorry, I shouldn't have brought it up.
Yeah, people are saying that this almost looks like a domino mask. Like the green glasses.
Superhero Joe.
Yeah, is that like Joe is a superhero? It's like maybe.
Facts, Joe is Green Lantern.
Yeah, glasses just always feel like they don't look right. Is kind of what because like I tried glasses on a skin early and I just wasn't pleased with them. And I kind of gave up, and I'm like, maybe it's worth revisiting if I make them partially transparent. That could work. Thank you.
That sounds good, bird.
Oh wait, I don't even have my camera back on.
Did I just hear a in the background there?
Yeah, Badger was trying to avoid being on camera while handing me a coffee. And the camera wasn't on anyway.
The cackle. It was great.
People are saying I could do a Green Lantern thing this next season. Would I put a beard on? Oh, I guess that makes sense that I could have a beard.
Yeah, put a beard on.
In the game. I feel like I'd need to switch over to the white mouth for that.
Why do you have to have a mouth?
Yeah.
I don't have a mouth, Joe. Why do you need a mouth? Why are you special that you need a mouth?
Why am I special that I need a mouth? Okay, that's fair. Let's okay. So let's reproduce the hair so we're gonna keep. I'm gonna start over without the glasses on this next one, so we can prototype kind of the glasses and the hair separately, or the glasses and the beard separately. Okay, so I kind of want to keep the eyes where they are because that's always that. I feel like that's too. I don't want to do too much of a jump, right?
Yeah, because getting used to Cub skin this season was like, who are you?
Yeah. Like, I want to be recognizable, so I'm going to keep the same shirt, because Cub changed his clothes, too.
Yeah, he did.
Like, it's like, okay, he saw Book of Mormon and got really enthusiastic. Is that not what happened?
I don't know.
You're laughing like that's not what happened.
I didn't know that that's what had happened.
No, I don't. I'm just guessing, but like I don't know. It's very.
It's very. I am a teenage missionary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's because I actually made that comment once before.
Yeah.
So dear God, poor Cub.
Yeah.
Thanks, Branny.
Okay, so just to try and fill in kind of the face here, so it would go the face without the beard would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it would go down to here, and we kind of have a gap for the eyes. So we have the whites of the eyes stay. So there's your basic Steve skin without much detail on the face, or without much detail on the mouth area there. Hold on. So the actual default Steve skin doesn't really have a beard at all. I feel like at one point maybe it did though.
He had stubble before.
Did they take that out?
I didn't think they had, no.
Hold on.
Steve is unkempt is all I'm saying.
So some people, okay, I'm looking at like, so so it looks like for like some of the Steve toys they gave him more of a beard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ian's Cub and Scar have green eyes. Didn't know that.
Okay. So if we did my current facial hair, let's see, that kind of starts. So in terms of like, I'm framing my face. I'm like, if only I had a mirror. Let me just switch to the OBS things I can.
Dear God.
Cleo, I'm trying to be creative. It's a challenge sometimes. Okay, so like I'm looking and like the whites of my eyes line up with the edge of the beard. So that would mean to have the beard would start 1 pixel away from each edge here, right? It wouldn't go onto the sides of my face for sure.
Right.
You know, actually the trick would be to have the beard go down where the t-shirt is too.
Mm-hmm.
In the same way that the hair
you need
goes
to put
down.
It on the overlayer at some point.
Say again?
Put it on the overlayer over the t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a t-shirt and the beard over it.
Yeah. Yeah, so the beard would start down here, or would start here, and then I could continue that onto the shirt layer. So the top pixel of the shirt currently is like a neck cutout, it looks like. No, it's not. The first pixel of the shirt is... No, there is a neck cutout. Okay. So basically we get rid of the neck cutout and replace it with beard cutout. Because my beard currently... It would touch the lip of my shirt. So I might not have the beard actually cover the @ symbol, but it would go down to the @ symbol. So it would cover 4 of the pixels above the @ symbol here. What?
No, this just amuses me. I don't know why it amuses me. It just does.
Okay, I'm glad that we can amuse you, Cleo. People are saying Beef and Rendog also have beards. Well, the thing is,
nobody has quite the depth of beard that Joe has right now.
Beef and XB have beards that they connect to their sideburns, which I don't have. Mine cuts off here. Okay. So, in some ways, though, maybe I actually want to pull... Yeah, so I could have my hair coming over my ears more on the side. So yeah, right now, so the skin currently has like the ears are visible. But like when I take my headphones off, how do I normally walk around? Usually I tuck my hair behind my ears. So I guess I just would make it go down the neckline more. I can't hear you also because I just took the headphones off. Sorry, Cleo.
That's fine. I'll just say horrible things about you.
Now I can hear you again. Welcome to the horrible things. Okay, wait. Who is Iskul? He has a beard. His beard's totally different from mine. His facial hair is nothing like mine. What are we doing today? Says Daniel McGrail. We are designing Minecraft pixel skin stuff. Okay, so let's do...
Nope.
So if we looked at the side of my head, the way the so I'm gonna add like a dashed line here to indicate that this is where the what do you call it is where the cutaway is, right, or what have you. So the way it currently goes is there's 3 pixels of skin here, then 4 to show where the ear is. And then 2, and then so it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then 4 more. So with the hair filling in the remainder. So let's fill that in here. So this is the default Steve skin hair right here. I think what we probably want to do, if we're gonna have the hair go like over my shoulders or whatever, and possibly down the front of the shirt, is we need to go behind the ears, but then have it immediately come down. So we get rid of these 6 pixels of skin here, and then maybe even 1 here under the ear. So then we've got it like it's coming down there. What, Cleo? This is how people design things. You put work into it.
I didn't say anything.
You're making
I
a
just
lot of
giggled.
noises like you don't approve.
I'm not. It's not that I don't approve. It's just I find it funny.
Okay.
I mean, you're allowed to look like how you look, Joe.
Thanks, Cleo. And so my hair is pretty symmetrical at this point. I don't really have, because I'm usually got it pulled back behind my ears. I'm not doing the swoosh thing anymore because I can't with the length. It would just be in my face or mouth, which is not helpful. Aviva says, I have never seen a person design a Minecraft skin on paper ever before. What?
No, I've never either.
How is
You're
that?
right.
What? How do you guys design things?
They open up the viewer and then they go nuts, usually.
Okay.
It's usually a computer skin.
Okay. Well,
What kind of paper is the pattern on? Thick paper?
graph paper? Which, your pattern or my pattern?
I think they're talking about my pattern because
Okay.
they said my name.
People say in the skin editor. What's the skin editor? I just modify things in Photoshop. It's pixel art. It's digital. Well, this is pixel art.
He's planning, everybody. He's allowed to plan however he wishes to plan.
Aviva says there's thousands of Minecraft skin editors. Yes, and this one was provided to me by NASA. So I'm sorry that you all don't use a NASA grade skin designer like me, but okay.
Really, chat, it's your fault.
People are saying Planet Minecraft, Skin Dex, Skin Seed, Blockbench, PMC 3D, LOL, NASA. People are saying TFC Skin doesn't have a Santa-style beard like him IRL. Well, maybe I'm... If the point is, if I'm going to do this, I want to do it, like, all out, right? Like, okay, so it looks like the shoulder blades on Minecraft start 3 pixels up.
Hang on.
So we could go 3 pixels up there. Okay. So maybe let's restart with a shirt.
Okay. My koala is done.
Yay, koala.
I am finished.
Yay, koala. Okay, this is the midway point here. So.
And we are heading towards the end of days. I mean, the stream.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
same thing.
Okay, hold on. So.
Oh, that hurt my hands quite significantly.
Oh no.
I know, right? Oh no. Don't know what to do with it now, but
Okay.
looks really good. Thank you. Was it worth it? I don't know. I got to talk to Joe for 4 hours.
Yay.
That was worth it. That's always worth it. I mean, relatively speaking.
Yay.
And I'm just going to chill now. Frame it. But where would I put it? Do I do a lot of these? No, not really. I mean, I do a lot of crafting because me and Joe have made this thing where we do crafting on stream and talk to each other for 4 hours at a time.
It's fun.
And it's nice. I enjoy it. However, do I do lots of crafting. I don't do lots of this. Decoration for the front of the new freezer. Well, I don't know about that. It's not a hand turkey.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Joe's in his own little world.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how the shirt works.
Mm-hmm.
So just for illustrative purposes here, I guess.
He's a hand turkey friend. I am not hand turkeying today because everything hurts. Thank you, Winnie. Mail it to do. Make what's done with it his problem. That would require two things. One, me to go to the post office to mail it to Joe, and knowing where Joe lives, I can't mail it to Joe Hills at the Greater Nashville area.
No. Because I'm actually
I could.
in the city.
It would be hilarious.
So, they wouldn't. The Greater Nashville area is way too big. Okay.
Could cut out some brown paper to go behind it, but that would require having brown paper.
So yeah, if I put the beard on the beginning of the shirt here, I feel like that's an interesting kind of effect. Mm-hmm. And I almost wonder if I could do 2 pixels here, if the @ symbol would still read clearly enough with the beard going down there. That'd be a little fun. Now, also, right now, my beard is pretty long. I need to shave it because it's hard to wear masks, but I'm not really going anywhere or doing anything right now, so... yeah.
That's fair. I'm sure the fridge comes in a big brown cardboard box. No, because I've paid to have them remove my old fridge and the packaging. I've been smart. They're taking it all away for recycling, so I don't have to.
Nice.
Yep.
Didn't Scar have a wizard's beard in season 7? Ah, did he? Let me pull him up in Name MC. Is he good time with Scar?
Scar, not in in season 7, but not in season 8.
Yeah, I'm trying to find his wizard beard iteration.
Just put it in the happy I made this folder and relax. That's basically what I'm doing. You guys are my happy I made this folder. Currently.
I don't see him with a wizard beard. Although he has 63 skins, so I might not have gone back far enough.
When he was with his snail, he definitely had a wizard beard.
Okay, page 1. Let's try going back to page 2. Have you seen Disturbingly Ripped Scar? He has one where he's super buff.
Yes, I have personal experience with that one. I'm traumatized.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. Okay, I'm looking...
That's one of his last life skins.
Yeah, okay. So I'm looking at his beard in the beard one. Yeah, that works pretty well, actually. So, yeah, he does it with a layer overneath or over top of the face.
Overneath.
It's the opposite of underneath.
Whatever. Scar's inflatable muscles. My favourite one was the diamond armour that he put on himself to pretend that he had full diamond armour and he was just naked. I enjoyed that one. His diamond jammies.
Wait, did I mess this up copying it over from the... Oh, yeah. It's not that the beard was going to be less wide, it's that the mouth part needs to be more clearly defined. There we go.
See, one of my favourite Scar jokes, and it's a joke obviously only Scar could get away with, was when he had his mountain top, and I think it was Martin, came up to the mountain and goes, "This really is not accessible." And Scar goes, "Well, I know everything I need to know about accessibility." And it's just like, no one else could make that joke. Mm-hmm. Well done, Scar.
Hey, welcome, Aline the Wizard. Glad you could join us. Okay. I feel like this is a reasonable start. Now, the trick is, too, though, that I was originally thinking my hair would come down over my shirt, but it has to come over the shoulders. How big are the shoulders? Are the shoulders 4 more pixels? Yeah. Okay. So if my hair is coming over my shoulders here, then that would come down like this as well. Maybe.
I think you want to look at my skin if you want to look at hair coming over your shoulders.
Oh, that's a good point. See, this is a good time to do brainstorming stuff, is with other people to help. ZombieCleo. So the thing is, though, your hair is coming over the front of your shirt, but the issue with that, though, for me, is it would interfere with the beard.
Fair.
Also, your hair doesn't go down your back at all. Oh, some of
It does.
some of the skins it does. It depends on which skin it is, apparently.
I mean, my aerobic skin, no, because it's in a side ponytail.
Oh.
Because they had to make it as 80s as possible.
Okay.
If
Oh,
you
yeah,
look
yeah.
at my normal regular
So your
skin.
normal one, it goes down. Okay, almost to your legs, but not quite. Okay. And see, I noticed that you have a lot of texture and contour to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I need to do that, obviously.
Obviously, yeah.
And you're doing the 3-pixel shoulder or the 4-pixel shoulder here?
3 pixel. I'm on Alex.
Wait. You can do layers on everything, not just the face? I thought that layers were only for the head, but oh. So you could do those on your arms and stuff too. So I could have the hair coming over my arms or over my back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joe has a cousin it skin.
I have a what?
Cousin it skin. Beard and long hair.
Yeah.
You're turning into cousin it, darling.
Maybe.
Okay, Joe, I'm going to have to head off.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and wrap up too, so we'll go ahead and say goodbye, and then we'll do our separate raids, I guess. Huh?
Okay.
Alrighty, have a good night, Cleo, or day.
Have a good night, Joe. I'll see you later.
Alrighty,
Bye.
keep adventuring, Cleo. So we're going to
I will.
disconnect over here. Boom. Okay, so let's see what is going on out there in the broader world of streaming. It looks like our good friend Impulse SV is using the create mod to work on his factory, so we're going to go ahead and raid him. And let's go ahead and make sure that we can see that when we get over there. Alrighty, so when you get over there, say howdy, y'all. Joe Hills raid here. And until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Do 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 do.